It'd be a shame if I had to kill you if you said anything.
I told you about killing people, dude.
I want to find out what's underneath that mask.
I'm not wearing a mask. I have fur.
This is funny.
Alrighty, welcome in, Gelders, to Tales of the Riot Nexus episode 6. Fateful Bounties. Welcome in, everybody. I'm super excited for y'all to be joining us today. We have an awesome show coming your way. But before we get started, we're going to go around, talk about our various characters and my lovely players, as well as talk about the fact that we have a really awesome giveaway going on right now. ! Ticket in the chat to enter into that giveaway. You'll have the opportunity to win a custom modeled and painted Doldrum, who is our very own Kite, the Kite in the Winds, a familiar, a very cute space guppy. It's there they are. We've also got stream loot that are going to be going live very shortly, where you'll be able to impact the game with cards, and in doing so also be able to support the cast. There may in fact be some community packs in there as well. Thank you, Werewolf, for gifting some packs to the community. So make sure you jump in there for the opportunity to cause some chaos. Oh wow, thank you so much. And all that gets split amongst the cast members. So before we dive into the action of today's show, let's go around and meet our cast real quick. Domino, why don't you start us off?
Hey, what's up? My name's Domino RBG. My pronouns are he, they, and I'll be playing Cal, whose pronouns are also he, they.
Beautiful. Next we have Rach.
Hi, I'm Raichku. My pronouns are she, her. I'm playing Lux, also she, her.
Fantastic. Next we have Galaxy.
Hi, I'm Galaxy. My pronouns are they, them, and I am playing Kite in the Wind, whose pronouns are he, they.
Beautiful. And last but certainly not least, we have Lance.
Hello. My name is Werewolf BF. I am playing Lance a little. My pronouns are they, them. Lance's are he, him, and we're here to hang out.
Excellent. Alrighty. So when we last left our party of the Riot Nexus, the group had been asked to clear a satellite in exchange for a free registry and a free and clean registry for their ship that has no maker as it kind of created itself. In doing so, they ended up kind of stepping into the thick of it, and after kind of splitting the party and going different ways in the satellite, discovered a lot of information. The clockwork constructs that they had encountered previously were seemingly draining energy or gaining power from this living tree that was generating electricity. While that was being discovered, the plant creatures were found to be almost like growing and living in the base of the satellite, like almost like a little village of what was determined eventually to be seemingly time displaced refugees from the distant future. In doing so, Lance impressed upon them his divinity, and they took him to be a god or a savior or some individual of significance, and showed off a mural to them, both him and Lux. The rest of the party, Cal and Kite, they managed to, like, using a little bit of the distraction from earlier, help the plant managed to retake this electricity generating plant, which then became free and started just going buck wild all over the station, zapping both clockworks and plants alike. They quickly made haste to the bottom of the station, where an explosion racked the base. Some Glom troopers had arrived on the scene, blowing up the station, the part of the station where where Lux and Lance were, and before swarming in and just starting a massacre of the Artox. Lux attempted to get away, pulling Lance and having the ship come back to them, the Nimbus, who was being at that point piloted by the dog, and and Lance is familiar. At which point the party, or Lance, unwilling to leave the Artox behind, in one particular blue and pink plant creature that he had bonded with, returned, and upon just a show of wild magic and chaos magic proficiency, just completely obliterated all the Glom troopers, except for one, which was stabilized by Cal arriving on the scene. The party also, after the destruction of these conglomerate agents, the party was also shown properly the mural of importance to these Artox, these plant creatures, showing a collection of individuals, including the Riot Nexus and several other folks that they did not recognize. Some of them they did, though, one of them being Lux's mentor, Yura. And with the middle panel of it being almost like them descending or fighting or eclipsing like a large black mass, assumed to be a black hole. And that was about it, other than the final question that was asked to the Artok of what the significance of the middle panel is, which it said in its kind of broken and half understandable language barrier gap, sacrifice. And with that, we pick right back up where that is.
Look at that righteous notes in all caps. Sacrifice.
Yeah.
Sacrifice.
Sacrifice.
Kalema.
And was that information we gotten from Kite doing the comprehend languages?
Yeah, a good percentage of that was, yes.
Okay. I guess, Kite, would you be able to ask if they want to be here?
I can try. It's a different spell to try and speak these languages, but
Oh, sorry. I suppose we could invite this one onto the Nimbus, and we might be able to sort of have a conversation that way, telepathically.
actually that might be a little bit better, since I don't have access to I've never learned a spell that will allow me to speak a language like that. So
Lux will interrupt Kite and just be like, can we go back to the sacrifice part? Whose sacrifice?
Trying to do that, but we can't really talk to them right now, Lux.
Yeah.
Al is in the background studying this like whole ass equation that Lance like scrawled on a wall.
It's fine. Don't worry about that.
You see him pick up a piece of chalk and he starts like essentially like editing it.
Trying to math out the math.
Mm-hmm.
And I will grab another piece of chalk and I kind of draw a cloud with a sail on it. And then I draw like this little tentacle-y guy, and me with my little space buns. You know, it's all stick figures. But I could draw little things like little balls, like little space buns.
What space buns?
Oh shit, I do have my hair fully out right now. I draw myself with a big cloud behind my head as well. I draw like a little connection between the two of us, like little waves.
I love that. Yeah. Also, in the last episode, so there was that card that got played of Lance having disadvantage on on charisma based checks until they change their outfit, right?
Yes.
So I'm just curious, like we've had an episode gap, like, you know, it's just like a hard cut from between those episodes, but I'd like to imagine Lance like took that time to change outfits. So do you want to what's the new fit?
Absolutely. Okay, so
my
Ooh,
God.
listen.
fit check, fit check.
The riding boots are here to say. Nothing is going to be changing about those. They are always in season because they are always going to be the wrong shoe for every occasion. So riding boots are happening. Up up to the knee brown riding boots. And then Lance is rocking just like a lovely yellow sundress, kind of a maxi sort of situation, like short in the front, long in the back. And what could only be described as the largest sun hat you've ever seen.
Oh my god.
Amazing.
And still wearing the pink fur stole as well.
Hell yeah, absolutely. So as you gesture between the drawings that you've made of clearly you with the sun hat on in the drawing and the this dress and the Artok in the
Yeah.
background while this
I
is going
think
on.
Lance is not very good at art, so it's like a stick figure with a Pringle on their head with a
Yeah,
little
yeah,
bump.
I love
Yeah.
Whoa.
it. Yes. So while this is happening, well, as it's kind of discussing, you see like it look at the imagery and it look over towards like another Artok. This Artok seems to be quite a bit larger than the other ones. Like if the regular ones are maybe about the size of like medium to large dog, this one is maybe like the size of like a cow or like a
Oh
buffalo.
wow.
Oh wow.
It's big. And you get the sense that this one may be like the big boss one.
For sure.
And there's some kind of moments of communion between it. And while this is happening in the background, you see the you realize, Cal and Kite, this white wood substance that flows down from the ceiling of this chamber that y'all are in, and it would have flowed into the base of it. That Lance and Lux, you all would have seen this, but not have known this. You two realize that this is a piece of that same tree from the topmost section of the satellite. It is like woven through the platforms of the satellite to be one continuous beam, basically, going through the station itself. And as y'all are standing there like talking, you see something happen to it on uh the wood itself is completely barren and dead looking, but as you watch, you see it begin to suddenly bark ripple up the side of it like healthy and fresh, and you see boughs bursting off of it, complete and resplendent with like leaves and flowers that are beautiful, and they smell glorious. And as this happens, you see it begin to slowly like kind of like snake up out of the enclosure, as if freeing itself, as if being pulled from the north, from the higher position. um and this discussion between the blue and the pink one is kind of happening in this moment while Lance is kind of there looking at it. What are the rest of y'all doing?
I think Kite is still like staring at the picture and is like trying to memorize all of the faces on it that he like aren't people that are here currently.
In the process of trying to math out Lance's speculative equation, Cal has started writing his own so that he can plug the results of that back into Lance's calculation to see if they work together. He like fully clearly this man has like his own theory of like uh how like these temporal idiosyncrasies may work, and like you can just see he's full bore into trying to like solve it now.
Sure. So it sounds like you're analyzing Lance's mathematics and you're trying to like make a proof for it, if that makes
Mhm.
sense.
Yeah.
Yeah, absolutely. I would say go ahead and make either an Arcana check or a just flat intelligence check, whatever works better for you.
Oh, what works better for you, Cal? You little man. Let's see, 21.
21. I'm gonna say that you, like, despite the absolutely wild and outlandish outcome of Lance's original calculation, you finish your own mathematical proof and you realize that it is immutably true.
I think Lance kind of looks over at you and he'll go, "Yeah, we're running like quadruple Perler's number right now. We are out of bounds of norm probability."
This is astounding. I don't think I've ever thought of anything like this before.
This kind of probability?
Yeah, like no. So like here's the thing. It's like yes, there's multiversal and multi-timeline theory and like how all of those intersect, connect, weave around each other. There's the fractaline nature of the universe, but that's more you guys' thing. But like I've never sat down to actually think about how it all works and clicks together. And I'm starting to see it.
This exact equation is what we do at sort of the group that I work with. It's how we figure out where things have gone very wrong in terms of probability and where we need to either try and sort of reset probability in the area or quarantine some sort of object and take it back to headquarters to figure out what's going wrong. So this is kind of the first thing you learn is how to do this kind of math.
Kite is looking at the math now. He's just
look. Oh, go ahead.
No, I was gonna say he's just checking it out.
Cal looks at Lance, and in his eyes, he has that look of like. It's like when Neo sees the Matrix, and you don't know if that's good or bad.
But that's fine. I'm going to, once we get to respite, I'll send some sort of message about it. Right now, I just want to try and figure out this conversation. So I'll leave you two alone with the math.
Kite's like, he's just kind of trying to figure out, like, as he's looking at it, he's trying to gauge, like, how big of some effed up thing someone would have to do to get them this far out of the realm of possibility. He's just sitting there very quietly staring at the math and doing that in his head.
Well, you see, what if it's less one big thing that you do and everybody has their own, like, chaotic coefficient assigned to them, and then you put a bunch of those people together, a la the Riot Nexus, and that just increases the probability of extremely fucked up things happening near and around them.
Do you say this out loud to Kite?
He kind of, like, mumbles it.
When he hears it, he kind of very slowly turns to Cal, and he says, There's only 4 of us in a very large universe. Something bigger has to be going on as well.
I'm going to say, Kite, as Cal says this, go ahead and make an Arcana check.
Okay. I can do that. Okay. Oh, I thought I rolled a nat 1, but it's a 7. Okay.
Hey!
7 total?
Sorry, I was doing math in my head, and oh god. And what is
you're
8 plus 7? Why am I so bad at this? Is that 13?
15.
15. I went the wrong way. 15.
I think that Kite, as you are discussing this, and as you are, as Cal is bringing up this notion of bringing chaotic people together begets more chaos, right?
Mm-hmm.
Kite, I think that, in fact, I think Cal and Kite, I think everybody listening into this conversation, so Kyle, Kite, and Lance, I'm not sure if Lux is listening in, but
Lux
if she,
is not listening. She doesn't understand what they're saying at all.
absolutely. So in this moment, the three of you have this realization that potentiality in a stagnant universe like the bubble is a very powerful thing.
Kite, yeah. I told her. Kite is sitting there. And he kind of he looks at Doldrum a little bit and he says, I'm gonna say in like Leonin, that's the best like way I can put it. Just like in like a vaguely like Tabaxi specific language. He's gonna look at her and say something along the lines of like, seems a little fishy. Oh my god. Seems a little too coincidental, doesn't it? And he just kind of watches her bob her head back at him. It's like he's using her to confirm his own theory at the moment.
So while the three eggheads are talking, what's Lux doing?
Wow.
It's fair. It's
Call
fair.
out.
We know what's up.
While these nerds are going on about math and shit, Lux she has Itzel still. She's still holding Itzel, but she's using her still intact, very human like arm to hold him with one arm. But with her metallic prosthetic, which is very highly capable of acting like sensors would on your hands, like it can feel just like the other one can. She's going to watch the tree and she is going to touch it.
Yeah, absolutely. This might be my bad, but I always kind of imagine that for not mentioning this, but I always kind of imagine that Lux can just use prosthetics like that. Like there is no magic that is in the prosthetic itself. It's just Lux is somehow able to use it like a hand.
Oh yeah, for sure. Yeah, and she can feel with it just like normal. It just
absolutely.
feels very different. If anyone else were to touch it, it would feel like hard metal. So
yeah,
very intentional that she's using her other arm to hold.
So what part of the plant do you touch?
I think the leaves that are growing. Maybe she attempts to do the bark first, that is kind of grown alive, and then the leaves and the flowers.
Sure. As you touch the bark, you feel just ambient, like nature magic kind of flowing through it. Like it feels palpable in it, almost like you know how like static electricity has that little just tingle to it. It's almost like that, except you can feel like the raw nature energy kind of just pulsing through the bough of the tree as it slides away. And you don't have much time to do this as your kind of hand, like it is gliding underneath your hand, being pulled up. The tail end of it slides up past your hand and up through the roof.
Oh, is this nature magic like similar to how Itzel feels or any of the other Knights of Cord familiars feel?
I'm gonna say yes, but like in a general sense, like the Knights of Cord familiars and the nature revenants are of like pure nature magic. that has been corrupted and perverted by the actions of the corporations and other sentients, right?
Uh-huh.
This feels like raw nature magic in the same way that the nature revenants are raw nature magic, but I don't think it to you it doesn't feel like the exact same type, if that makes sense.
Okay. Does it feel like any kind of link, like between any kind of I should say significant link?
I'm gonna say go ahead and make an Arcana check. I probably should have said that first before I said that last thing, but go ahead and make an Arcana check to see if you could determine any significant link.
She knows stuff sometimes, especially now with a nat 20.
With a nat 20, I think you can definitely determine that you don't see that there is a significant link between the nature revenants and this plant creature that you found. In fact, I'm going to say with that nat 20 Arcana, you know what this thing is. This thing is a Yggdrasti, and they are fairly rare in existence, and they are thought to be like splinters of like the world tree, which is this old lore concept from the old times, back when the old gods were still worshipped and not fabled to exist. This is like the time of miracles, basically, before the spelljamming era, right? So this is like few hundred, if not a couple thousand years ago.
Okay. At this point, Lex is going to interrupt whatever they're doing. She obviously doesn't really care or understand this math stuff, but she relays this information to them, especially, and just like emphasizes the part about the Yggdrasti and the splinters of the world tree, and how it's ties in like the old gods being worshipped in the like hundreds, thousands of years ago.
Hey Timbo, can I roll history on Yggdrasil?
Sure.
That's a 15.
Yeah, I think that a similar amount that Lux does. That the Yggdrasil is an ancient concept in these older world in the old times, right? Before spelljamming was even known about or known to be possible, right? These are way back before the corporations were even a blink in the eyes of the worlds,
Right.
and in that time there was a legend of a tree where the worlds would sit on the boughs of that tree, and you could potentially walk the boughs of the tree to move between worlds, and in doing so there was interworld travel. However, that has been like a subject of debate for long periods of time, and the abilities and properties of the Yggdrasti have been used by some to be like, oh, this is direct evidence that the Yggdrasil existed at some point.
Interesting. After hearing this, Cal looks from Lux to Lance with the almost questioning look on his face. But if like an actual question had to be put to that face, it's more of like, then what is this particular tree doing here?
I don't know if Lance catches up on this right now. I think I'm still currently trying to convince a plant tentacle monster to come hang out in the ship with me right now.
Oh, Lux did come and just like interrupt us all.
Yeah, absolutely. Lance doesn't need to listen to Lux. We already know that.
And the blue and the pink Artok is still seemingly hotly debating with the large Artok. There is gesturing happening, like chittering of loud noises and different variations and pace. There seems to be some kind of debate happening between these
Okay,
two.
for sure. In that case, does the tree itself seem displaced, Timbo? Could I do a check about that?
Sure, the tree has gone out of your eyesight, but yeah, the whole front of the thing is fucked up. You could probably go to a gap to see it.
Yeah, for sure. I'll kind of move over and grab a little peek see myself.
Yeah, as you move over to an open section of the satellite, up open where the sky is open, or well, at least the upward position is open. You look up and you see that the tree, kind of almost snake-like fashion, is like moving and gyrating through the air. Go
Sure.
ahead and kind of flying in the astral sea. Go ahead and make a Arcana check as it kind of floats out away from the satellite.
I'm just imagining the dragons from Tears of the Kingdom and Breath of the Wild.
Little
Just
bit.
wiggling.
22.
22. This thing is intensely magical and has not been displaced in time.
Oh.
Jesus. Oh.
And
Oh,
at,
Did Timbo, I think you might have told us this already. Did the satellite seem like it was built around the tree, or did it seem like the tree was put into the satellite?
I believe I did answer this already. It looked like the tree was kind of put into the satellite, like it was intentionally grafted and grown up through it, right?
Okay.
And Lance, as you watch, the tree moves into open space a few hundred feet away from the side or from the satellite, and the entire thing is covered in the bark. It is just resplendent in this new bark, as well as like these boughs of leaves and flowers. And
Mhm.
you see it begin to, in the astral sea, it curves downward and starts to make a loop, closing itself. And you see it is beginning to spin up.
Is that tree just running away?
While this is happening, the Artoks that are still alive are patching up the little Artoks, that the other smaller Artoks that have been injured by gunshots or a part of the explosion. The ones that are intact are like kind of like stacking on top of each other and then like leaping off into the astral sea and starting to float in the direction of this now spitting tree.
I mean, I'm not going to stop them if that's what they're
Oh.
doing. I think Lance looks up to where they seem to be spiraling off into space, and straight up, I'm just gonna take some hands and I'm gonna hoist them out if that's what they want. If they climb up in my hands, I'm gonna help give them a boost out.
Yeah, they will happily like come up and like springboard off you and like they'll like launching under them into space towards the thing. You see the several of the individuals that the pink and blue one are like debating with have kind of like seemingly given up and like kind of swanned off towards you to be thrown up into the sky. You see the but this is just making the seemingly argument between these two even more like loud. And the blue and pink one, his head extends and he fires a blast of energy into the ground directly next to the big Artok, and like he gets right up next to him, like almost like he's getting in his face.
Is Kite still able to pick up what's going on here?
Yeah, can I understand what they're saying?
It is clipped and difficult even with the magic. Go ahead and make me an insight check. I'll say it regular.
Okay. Insight 21.
That's really good. You definitely get the sense that the blue and pink Artok is advocating for itself. You
Go,
get
little
this.
buddy.
You get the sense that not only is it advocating for itself, but it's advocating to stay. And the big one is irate about the notion of it. You're not able to pick up why, but you get the sense from this big one that it does not want that to occur. I'm gonna just roll some dice in this moment to see what happens in this altercation. Does anybody want to do anything as you see these two Artoks kind of going at it?
Yes, actually. Cal is going to read moods. So, give me a one-word summary of each of these two's emotional state right now.
The blue and pink one is, or sorry, we'll start with the big one. The big one is fearful,
Mm-hmm.
and the blue and pink one is hopeful.
Cal is going to he's like, oh, excuse me, excuse me, and just like kind of like inserts himself between them. His back towards the blue and pink one, and facing the larger one, because the larger one is also the one that was more aggressive, correct?
No, the blue and pink one was the one that shot like the laser blast down at the ground by the big one's tentacle.
Okay, well, either way, he's the hopeful one. So like, Cal's going to face the bigger one, and he's just going to be like, "Hey, whoa, let's try and calm things down here." But like he also just like wants to stop them from like being able to go at each other. So he's just like putting himself in their way to like create that space, that distance.
Yeah, absolutely. So Cal, you interpose yourself between the two of them.
Yes.
Anybody else?
Kite is kind of watching this happen, and he's like, "Is that his parent?" Is this your mom?
This could be a very astute observation, actually.
You did get like a 21 insight check, didn't you?
Yeah, I did.
I'm gonna say with the 21 insight, you you get the, like, again, they don't really have the concept of gender, but you do get the sense that this is their progenitor. Yes.
Okay.
It's their parent.
Kite's like, "Yo, Cal, I think that's its mom or dad, or
Parent.
parent."
Gotcha. Cal's just like, "Hey, look, I know, like, you're scared. Stuff is scary. Like, things just keep happening. But also, this little one, is full of hope, and it seems like they want to, maybe do their own thing. And I understand that can be very scary." And like mid talking, he goes, "Why am I talking?" And then he just like starts communicating with it telepathically, like trying to like have this almost like ethereal conversation with it, because like as he reached out to them before, like he knew that he was really only getting like pictures and emotions, but it's also very similar to how he communicates with his egg. So he's like somewhat proficient in like reaching back out and like putting emotions and pictures like into context so that he can have a conversation this way. But he's trying to maybe trying to understand why the larger one is so fearful, but also like maybe convince it that it's possibly for the best to let this smaller one do its thing.
Absolutely. I'm going to say go ahead and make me a persuasion check with advantage, as you are able to communicate with it in such a granular and um such an intimate way, right?
Everybody pray for these rolls.
Fingers crossed.
Pray harder than you've ever prayed for anything. There's a +0 to both of these. I got a 12.
You see in the older Artok's mind's eye a field of the astral sea, and it takes you a moment to realize this because it does not look like any part of the astral sea you've ever seen. It is that same kind of dark blue color that's almost black, but where you would normally see nebulas or stars or any form of astral body, it is just the pure, like, inky blue blackness of the sky, and it is all encompassing. There is no points of light on the horizon, and it is near pitch black. And in the Artuk's mind's eye, you see it swallowed by this darkness. And in the reality, the Artuk raises its central stalk. You see it charging a blast of energy from that like orifice that it has, from that stinger it's got, like in its side. It charges up a large blast which fires through the fabric of the little tent that the blue and pink Artuk has set up, and into the wall of the mural, dead center, into the black hole. And it scuttles away out the door, or out the opening of the side of the satellite, and up into the sky. In the meantime, while this has been going on, in a large cocoon, the electricity bouncing from this Yggdrasti, this blooming Yggdrasti, bouncing back and forth in this like inner chamber that it has created with this loop, opens a rift, and you see a black void behind it, and the Artox begin to float through it.
Oh.
So Cal relays like what he got from the larger Artok, but also sees like this portal just open up, and he's like, are they just going home, or are they going somewhere else now?
They took the tree.
I think they're going wherever the tree is going. I think it doesn't matter necessarily whether that's here or there or now or then.
They're sentient tumbleweeds.
Well, I might say that about the Yggdrasti, but I mean, you could see these guys, although they are plant-like, they're definitely more kind of squid sort of things going on here.
Yeah, but they just picked up their roots and rolled away in the wind.
Like a kite.
I deserved that. So what do we do now?
Go back.
What about those little robots?
Those are from the past, and as much as I want to know about them,
They're really hostile.
Lance, was there anything else you wanted to check out about this station?
I mean, I'll be quite honest, I am fairly familiar with the design, and I don't think there's a whole lot more that I'm interested in, aside from what we've already seen.
I hate to say it, but those mechanical clockwork spiders, I've seen those in Chronolarian ruins before.
Oh, for sure. And I think they are a problem. I just think that our group specifically might not be equipped to handle them. I was going to send a sort of ping of sorts to the location for people with a little more oomph behind them to take care of this issue.
And then there's also, he turns around to face the pink and blue Artog. What is it that you want to do?
It will, if allowed, it will like scurry over to Lance and it will climb up his back.
Absolutely. A little backpack friend. Yes,
Yeah.
this is my
Oh,
favorite.
but before it does that, it goes over into its tent and it quickly throws a splash of paint on itself, so it's yellow now. And then it
Yes.
climbs onto you.
Incredible.
Cal's like halfway wondering what the cultural significance of that is.
Yeah, I'm like, I do have a bag. Do you want to bring some paints with you? I mean, we could take a second to pack up before we leave.
Yeah, it makes an excited chittering noise, and it goes over, and like if you'll put the bag on the ground, it will start to absolutely load it up with like various like things that it has in its little
Fully.
its little hut. Yeah.
Absolutely. We pack up this little guy. And then Lance will kind of do a sort of quick sketch of what's happening on the walls while the Artog is packing up, and get ready to go.
I will also throw out, you do think like it's not a large jump for you to make. That the mural was made by this Artog.
Yeah, for sure.
Oh, nice. He's an artist.
Yeah.
They're an artist. I shouldn't introduce gender to these guys. They don't
Pronouns
need
to
that.
these beautiful, beautiful genderless plants.
They're fine on their own.
All right, awesome.
Yeah.
So it sounds like everybody is tidied up. The ship gets pulled around, and y'all reboard and head on back to Respite. It sounds like.
If I hop in the helm, could I try and talk to the Artog?
Sure.
Well, we have to hit the outskirts of Respite first, because we got to drop off on.
Oh, for sure.
What's our friend's
Uglos?
name?
Uglos?
Yes, Uglos.
Oh, right, him.
Yeah, y'all are still
and-
gonna drop me off, right? Then
And
Yeah.
we got to get
for
up.
sure.
Got to get out the
No,
papers.
no.
For sure. Yes.
No.
Important.
No.
Oh,
Lux.
thank you so much. I really appreciate you dropping me off. He just ignores Lux.
Lux, how else will we get papers? That was the whole reason we went on this adventure.
To bring him back?
To
We
find
were
out what
supposed to go and
happened.
investigate the station, and obviously, like, leaving him here would be bad.
It was literally bring back any survivors.
Well, he came with us, didn't he? Did we
No.
find him here?
We found him
him
here.
He was in a
Okay.
cocoon.
Sorry, I'm
To be
personally
fair-
being forgetful. Arthur, werewolf, is being forgetful.
Well, to be fair, Lance wasn't there when y'all.
Yeah.
met Uglos.
Lance was not there. It was just Kite and Cal.
it's just this guy.
Yeah. He just like showed up with Kite and Cal, like when we showed up here.
And yeah, I'm gonna hop in helm and kind of look at the little plant guy and say like, "Hello, can you hear me?"
Again, kind of like the way that Cal had been communicating with the plant. It gives you like a general like greeting, like telepathic greeting of like not like words per se, but like
Yeah,
like the symbol of waving, right?
definitely. Interesting. And I send back a picture of me, and then of course like a jousting lance, and our beautiful Kite, with a kite, and you see Lux, who is suddenly bathed in light, and then Cal. I sit there and think for a second. And you see, it's almost like an image of a mountain gets built up and then kind of scribbled out. And then, I don't know. I don't know what image I tried to convey for Cal. And then sort of the feeling of a question as I show a picture of the Artog.
So the feeling of a what? Sorry, it cut out for me.
The feeling of a question. So like I show a picture of the Artog. So like I've shown all of us and then an image kind of associated with us, and then I show the Artog, and there's like the feeling of a question.
You get a response back that is kind of intangible. Like you think that you don't necessarily have the sensory capabilities to be able to understand like its response.
I hold out my hand to hold his little tentacle, and then I'm good to head to respite.
It like when you do that, you get the question bounced back at you. Like you get the shape of the little Artok and then a question mark. Like it's asking you for a name.
I'm gonna call you Picasso, little dude. And I just show like a painter.
He makes that like exciting chittering noise that he had before.
Picasso, I like it.
Lance has a little buddy.
I got 2 little buddies now.
Yeah.
I'm gonna have a little army of little buddies.
Oh boy.
Helm will go, there appears to be a new type of sentient life form aboard the ship, as well as is that a goblin?
Oh, certainly, Helm. We met this sort of plant-like creature. I'm naming him Picasso. He was asking for a name. I thought that one was cute. A little bit of a world-breaking reference, but that's fine. And I wasn't totally there for when this happened, but we found a survivor on the station.
Oh, excellent. Should I refrain from communicating with them?
I think you could definitely try to sort of initiate communication with Picasso. The other goblin, you should be able to ask him the way that you asked all the rest of us. I just don't know how a conversation between you and Picasso might look. You know?
Indeed. And Helm will kind of fall silent. Going to make me an insight check, Lance.
Cool. A 12.
12. I'm gonna say you get the sense that there's maybe like Helm has like maybe a little bit of confusion as y'all have talked about stealth a bunch, right? And then he's asking should he be stealthy in this moment.
Oh hell.
Oh, like trying to check out in my brain. I'm like, oh, you mean stealthy, like in engaging with brains, or just in general, like normal stealth. You know what I'm saying? Is that crazy?
It has been
Like-
stated that there are not many spelljammers that possess the capabilities that I do.
Oh, for sure. I think to be safe, Helm, when we are nearing sort of stations and outposts and God forbid even full cities, it might be good to sort of go into the more sort of cloud stealth, like the storm cloud stealth mode. It's not necessarily the stealthiest, but it at least is less flashy than obviously the beautiful sunset mode.
Understood. And he will kind of fall silent.
Should we not to be that guy? Should we be letting him talk to just anybody? Letting
Well, I
them
think
talk
that's what
to
he
just
was
anybody?
asking just now. And
Okay.
I just realized that with he fell silent, and I go, if we have guests on the ship, maybe a little bit of. Listen, we're talking in our brains, in my brain, and your sort of amorphous consciousness. We're sort of discussing right now. That's fine. Maybe not talk to this goblin who I don't know his name even, I think Picasso, if you want to try it, feel free. I just don't know what that's going to be like for you.
Some crew members do not wish to communicate this way.
Oh, for sure. If there's something that you need to discuss with Lux, let me know. I know she's a private one. I think at this point, Cal has already talked about having telepathic conversations with you, so I'm guessing it's probably just Lux, and that's fine. We'll respect her space. If you need to say something to her, just let me know, and I'll be like, oh, I just had this sudden idea. We'll handle it.
Excellent. That sounds amenable. And you do definitely get, I'm going to say with that 12 insight, you do definitely get the sense that like Helm feels a little bit more clear on like expectations. Absolutely.
For sure.
All right, great. So this is like we've kind of been like we're on the way back to Respite. It's like about a half day's travel or so. This is like an opportunity for there to be scenes. You can also take the benefit of a long rest in this moment as well.
Beautiful.
Woo. Kite needs it.
Rach, does that work for you, what I said to Helm?
Oh, that was perfect. No, I
Cool.
I didn't even question it. I thought that was funny.
Just double
That's good.
checking.
Loved it.
I appreciate that.
So I'm gonna say, at least for Lux in this time, one, she is kind of trying to avoid having the conversation with Kite and Lance that she was going to have as she talked to Cal about. Second, I think she is kind of thinking about the Kite saying, this is its mom, or this is its dad. I think that's just repeating in her head for some reason. So she is kind of ruminating on it, but the kind of rumination, I guess, as all rumination really, is when you don't want to ruminate on it. But she keeps getting this picture in her head of this woman standing in a like disheveled, kind of unkempt home, looking out a window, holding a baby. And the woman has this blurred face. And that's just what she keeps seeing. So I think between that, she's just kind of like restless a little bit.
Lux, I'm going to say as you are grappling with this, go ahead and make a wisdom saving throw.
Okay. Oh, that's a 4.
That's a natural 4. I'm going to say that over this period of time, you are so like distracted and distraught by this. You do not get the benefits of the long rest in this moment. You are like so distraught, and it's like you are hyper fixated on this.
Yeah, so I can't she can't calm down. Like she can't calm down enough to actually take a rest.
Right. The moments that you close your eyes, you just see this like woman's face in your head.
Yeah. Absolutely.
At some point, I think Kite is gonna find Lance. He's gonna look a little dodgy, a little nervous, like he does sometimes. Like he's, Lance is probably used to him approaching them in this way, where they're just like freaked out about something, and they've probably just been a little too in their head. But they come up to Lance and they're like, there has to be something bigger than just us coming together to make this potentiality thing really messy, right?
Well, I will say, the reason I kind of haven't been pushing that exactly is it does feel like a grand sort of cosmic leap. You can put the evidence out there of like, look, this is sort of the constant number of average probability, and say like, oh, how interesting that it's multiplied by a factor of 4. To make the leap towards it is merely us does seem a little far-fetched. However, I've been doing this for a few years now. There's always surprises, and it's not necessarily always chaotic people. Sometimes it's sort of the fact that we are all together points to something odd. Already, it was odd that I've run into Lux several times, and Cal a fair handful. That's odd enough in itself, in a space as large as the bubble. But it's difficult, It could be anything, and it could just be that on top of everything else, it just happens to be that the four of us are in all of the big things happening. Does that make sense? Not necessarily that the four of us together are causing it, but rather these things are happening anywhere, and an added bit of probability is that we all happen to be here. It could be correlation, not necessarily causation.
Well, I'm not particularly worried about causation. I know that the four of us probably aren't the problem. I'm more worried about what that means for what could be going on outside of here and what could be causing it.
For sure, and the mind boggles. I've been thinking about it the entire time, and I was like, oh my god, my drama with Teak does not even measure up to whatever the hell this is. And that's the only thing that kind of grounded me in the past couple of hours. At the same time, it's just it could be anything. It truly, anything could be causing this. That is the ridiculous level of, improbability happening right now.
Kai's yeah, anything. Yeah, you're right. And he seems to almost choose not to say something and backs down a little bit. Lance knows him pretty well. Lance can see this on their face.
Yeah, do I need to do an insight check, or how are we feeling about all this right now?
I mean, it sounds like
it
sounds like not. It sounds like Lance knows them well enough to be I can read you in this moment, right?
Yeah, I think Lance kind of leans in and goes, listen, Kite, you know what I do. I know your family. I don't think that you are the problem, if that's your concern. Your family, maybe in some fucked up way, maybe. But my co-workers are constantly dealing with the sort of temporal disturbances around your family. I don't know exactly what they're doing. That's kind of a little above my pay grade if I were actually getting paid for this work. But I don't think it's you.
I don't think your coworkers truly understand what my family is doing.
For sure, and that's also a possibility. I'm just saying, personally, I have no idea, aside from every once in a while some weird, portal pops up out of nowhere, or there's a sort of explosion of improbability. I don't know exactly what that means. Like I said, I'm not one of the council of scientists. I'm literally just a person who goes and fetches things. And I don't know if they know either. It's just kind of there's a red pin on the map, and then over here there's another red pin on the map, and over here there's another red pin on the map, and in the middle of all of those is your family,
Yeah.
And I think that's okay. Listen, we all have fucked up families. At least you and I both do.
You're right. Maybe I'm just, I don't know. I'm just a little this seems like a lot. That's all. Maybe I need to do some more research.
Maybe. I think also it's okay for you to just like hang out and chase Doldrum around the ship for a little bit if you want to have some fun. Not that I'm making a cat joke. Oh God.
Yeah, he pauses, and he's like, I was about to ask. That was unlike you.
Just like I think every once in a while, I throw on a different, sometimes better outfit to make myself feel better. Cal, plays with his guns. Lux cuddles with its soul.
Guns?
Well, whatever you do with guns. I don't know what they are, but like take them apart and clean them or whatever. Gun
well, I'm
things.
at least glad to hear that wasn't a euphemism.
Oh my god. And Lance is like blushing, just the most like vibrant pink. And he goes, it's just,
Smash cut to Cal just flexing.
Last season fashioned me again. Who was it? I have to come up with a new outfit again.
Oh no.
That's rough, buddy.
Let's see. That's so funny. Thank you for whoever played this lovely, beautiful card. It is one of the funniest cards for Lance. And yeah, Lance is just like, no, like, I just mean, listen, you need a hobby, is all I'm saying, and your hobby can't be worried that your family is ending the universe or whatever. You know what I'm saying?
I feel like it very well could be, but I see what you're saying.
No, like, I'm saying, like, that could entirely be a thing. I feel like there are probably at least 12 different families at any given time trying to act it, like, in the universe on accident.
No, I meant, like, it could be my hobby, but...
No, I'm saying you need a different hobby.
Yeah, maybe I do.
Maybe you learn how to knit, or, I don't know, I have some fun coloring books.
This is me laughing at Kite. Kite kind of is just like, I think I'm good on the coloring, but I take your point. Maybe I just need to stop thinking about it so much. Should do something else for a little while.
Yeah. And... Oh, also, did I tell you I wanted to, I was thinking of a name for our little friend here, and I named him Picasso. I thought it sounded fun.
Oh, I feel like that makes sense, because since he seems to paint.
He's very into painting. So he asked for a name. I thought that was cute.
Oh, he asked for the name. That makes sense.
Or them? Picasso asked for a name, and I gave Picasso.
Yeah, that seems... Picasso can also be their pronouns.
Exactly.
Why did Picasso look like you?
I think we've met before.
In the background, Picasso is just like walking around behind y'all, like he's got like his paintbrushes out, and you see him like painting stuff on the walls as y'all are just talking.
I think we've met before. Not in my lifetime, but in Picasso's lifetime.
That's terrifying.
Isn't it interesting? And it's so bizarre because the Artogs are from several hundred years in the future. So the fact that Picasso had any sort of imagery of the four of us and for some reason felt inclined to paint like me, I just think that somewhere in our near future we might expect some sort of temporal disturbance is all I'm saying. Maybe not near future, fingers crossed, but we'll see.
I think
hopefully we could go for like a day without one.
Since y'all are having this discussion kind of out in the open, Picasso who's walking by, he overhears you, and he like kind of walks up, and he points at you, Lance, and then he points at Kite, and you hear Helm, and both of your heads go, apologies for the intrusion. It appears Picasso wishes to make something known to you.
Oh yeah, would you be able to kind of set up a mind link of sorts?
Yes, that should be possible. At the very minimum, I can attempt to translate. It appears that Picasso sees you both as heroes or icons, some archetypes, maybe. It's
In like a mythic sense?
yes, that or potentially religious. It's unclear. And Lance, the way he views you, the way Picasso views you rather, is I'm getting this vision of the highest piece of fruit on a tree that has grown the ripest and the most delicious in the sun.
And I look at Picasso and I go, I'm positively flattered. I've been called a peach before, but this is certainly something.
Normally I'd be concerned about them comparing you to food, but they don't. They seem to photosynthesize, so.
Yeah. I suppose it is cool to be a little bit of an icon, don't you think?
You're talking to the wrong person about this, I think.
Oh, sure. But whatever it is, I mean, it's your legacy. It's not your family's. Isn't that interesting, at least to you?
It is kind of weird.
Picasso, who is only at most, like even to Kite, who is one of the shortest of the crew, only goes up to about hip high. It's just kind of like slowly walked over to both of you, and at ankle level is just like with two of its tentacles is just like petting like your calves. Like just kind of like it's kind of like slowly crept tentacles onto your calves, and it's just like slowly started petting both of you.
Incredible. See, this is incredible.
This is mildly unsettling.
What a time to be alive and experience this, whatever this is right now.
This is a lot.
And once it realizes it's been caught, Picasso will like turn and just kind of dash away.
Oh my
like
god! Okay.
I think I need to go lie down for a little bit. Thank you
Okay.
for this discussion, Lance.
Fair
And
enough.
Kite, looks like... like when an anime character, turns into, a blob, and they're just, really tired,
Yeah.
and they just, slink away? He kind of looks akin to that, the cat equivalent of that. Very good.
And I kind of offer my arm down to Picasso to climb up and say, I think it's time for us to get to respite.
Yeah, Picasso will come back from around the corner, which it has been peeking around from the side of very Scooby-Doo-esque, and will skitter back up and climb onto your back. Excellent. I think this is the perfect time for us to take our first break, actually, as y'all kind of pull back into the large asteroid field orbiting respite. We are going to take a we'll take a 10-minute break. Catch us back in 10 minutes. We've still got the giveaway going on, exclamation point ticket to enter that bad boy, and that's going to be going on till the end of the show. So stick around, you still have a chance to win. We've also got the stream loots, all that good stuff. So hang out. Thank you again, everybody, for being here. We will be right back. Hello, Guilders, and welcome back to Tales of the Riot Nexus, episode 6. Thank you so much for your patience. We still have that giveaway going on as well, exclamation point ticket to enter into that to win a free Doldrum Mini, as well as exclamation point streamloots to support the cast and cause some chaos in game. When we just last left off, the party had been heading back from their mission towards the floating orbital town of Respite in orbit around a large glowing black hole. Without further ado, the party makes their way back to Farv's garage, an unlabeled small building in carved out of an asteroid, and the party lands there with no problem. heading on inside. You see Farv is there waiting for you as you come on in. He appears to be like working on something, and as y'all enter, he throws like a cover over something, and he says, welcome back. Hey, I see you've got Uglis with you. And Uglis goes, oh, hey boss. Yeah, they managed to find me.
Can I get a read on whatever he just threw a thing over?
Yeah, go ahead and make either an insight check or a perception check.
I would also like to roll an insight check.
Sure.
Those are the same for me, so I'm gonna go perception 20, dirty 20, but 20.
Nice. With the dirty 20 perception, you definitely see in the brief moment before the curtain comes down. Did you get Dub?
Double
nat
ones.
ones.
Double nat ones. Okay, we're gonna honor how unlucky that is in just a minute.
1 in 400 chance. Let's go.
With that dirty 20, Kite, you definitely see some kind of spelljammer piece of kit underneath there. If you had to guess, with that 20, I would say probably some kind of booster of some kind. You're not 100% sure.
Got it.
And Cal, with that insight check, with that double nat 1 insight check, you see Farv waiting for you, and you see he is all smiles. He looks incredibly happy to see you.
No.
Lux, you with your 19 insight check, you get the sense that when Farv greets Uglos, there is a line to the way he greets him. There is a hardness in his voice that doesn't sound like regret. It sounds like something else. It sounds like maybe annoyance to you.
Okay, and just to clarify, the line is not like thieves' can or anything, right?
No,
Or is
it's
it? Okay.
Like
no,
a
it's like
harsh
an
edge.
yeah, it's
Okay,
like
just
an intonation of his
clarifying.
voice. Yeah.
Okay, because just clarify, just in case. Okay, interesting.
So what's the status with the satellite? Did y'all clear out whatever nasty buggers had taken refuge there?
Well, we brought one back.
Kite's like, I mean, yes, we did bring Uglis back, but we also did get rid of a bunch of plants. We didn't really get rid of them so much as we helped them choose to leave. But they're gone now.
Oh, that's a very peaceful and a solution to that problem. Not what I was expecting to say you to say at all, actually.
Yeah, I've kind of... There is a small issue of some constructs on the ship, but I think that'll be handled in the next few days. And then you'll be fine to sort of do some repairs on the station and get it up and running again.
Mm-hmm.
Oh, great, excellent. Yeah, it sounds like you weren't able to get it back up and running, though.
Do we look like mechanics?
Were we supposed to?
Well, no, I just had offered if you had managed to get it up and running, I could have given you a little bit of a bonus. But you got Uglos back here, and I definitely think that's worth at least a little bit of gold coin.
Yeah,
And
I mean,
we cleared out the major threat with it.
Absolutely, yeah. And I'm a man of my word. Your registration is right here, and he will hand it to you, Lance, because he thinks you're the captain.
Fair enough.
Kite looks mildly slighted.
That's fair. I accept that in this moment. Can I take a look at this to see if I think it's like passable?
Absolutely. Go ahead and make me an insight check into the document.
A 17.
It looks to be a proper authentication for a ship. You do see that it is for a vessel called the Pearlescence, but it doesn't list the type of vessel that it is. So it seems like you can fill that in yourself, and it will be able to, and it will look appropriate to whatever you may need. And Farv goes, yeah, that'll get you as where you need to go. Lance, also with your 17 insight check, you recognize that this ship registry is an exo production registry, which means that it is for a vessel that was not created within the span of the corporate worlds. This whatever vessel this was originally made for
Like
was
a kit bashed kind of vehicle.
Yeah, exactly. It wasn't made by any of the major producers. It was the vehicle that this used to be. It was handmade or what have you.
Definitely. Well, I think that certainly covers our ship. It does have a unique sort of build to it. Certainly. I think that it looks fine, and I will hand it to Kite.
Kite takes it. He never at any point looked upset with Lance. Just
For sure.
for clarification. He just looked
making
annoyed
that
with
clarification
this guy.
for this random guy who's making a lot of assumptions, I feel like.
Yeah. Kite just thanks Lance quietly.
Well, I think that we are settled up here.
Of course. Oh, let me get you some gold creds for this, for getting Uglos here as well. And he hands you a small sack as well. Looking at it, it looks to be about 100 gold creds worth of pieces.
Can Kite get a vibe of how Uglos seems to be thinking at the moment?
Yeah.
Like feeling?
Sure. Give me another insight check.
Should I do this as well?
18.
Definitely. 18.
23.
I think 18. You get the sense that like maybe Uglos doesn't really understand what's happening in this moment. But Lance, with your 23, you pick up that Uglos isn't as out of it as he lets on, and he definitely is picking up on that kind of subtle annoyance that that Farv is putting out. Like you get like Uglos's demeanor has shifted very visibly. Like he's kind of smaller, hunched. His like normally animate kind of smaller bug arms and antenna that were like kind of moving kind of rapidly have kind of slowed and are kind of tucked down and away. He's kind of like stilled somewhat.
What was Uglos's job on the station?
I don't think anybody asked. He was part of the recon team. He was part of a recon team.
Oh, that's right. He was a follow-up. I think Lance would go. Just curious. We are going to be sort of in the sector for a little bit. We have not been to Respite before. I kind of look at the group and I say, do you think that we might avail Uglos for just maybe a day or so to help us around? We need to find some parts in town, that kind of thing.
Oh, you're asking me? Farv kind of looks.
I mean, you are his employer, are you?
Oh no. Well, yeah, I hired him to go do that job, which he fucked up, and all of his friends died. And Douglas goes, "Yeah, all my friends did die. That did happen." Farv goes, "No, you can take this guy. I don't. As far as I'm concerned, our job is done. I'm not even going to ask for the gold that we paid them up front back because I'm such a nice guy."
You do seem like a nice guy, and I'm so thankful for that. Uglos, would you be interested in going outpost side with us for a little bit?
Uglos will go, I don't really want to be caught over there in the Founders Ward. I owe a few debts over there, unfortunately. But if you wanted to just drop me off at the Bleeding Briar, that's one of the Shambling Hounds, like one of their bars, then I'd be all set.
I think that's not too much of an imposition. Does that sound okay for people?
That sounds fine to me.
Yeah, sounds great.
Lux knows that.
Kite kind of looks at. Nope, sorry. You go first.
Lux, I think, just knows that the three of them are gonna let this happen, so she just doesn't say anything.
Lance will raise a little eyebrow at Lux, but yeah. Anything else anyone wants to talk to over here, talking to this man?
Does not seem like it.
No,
Cal.
but I don't trust this guy as far as I can throw him.
Cal.
Right in front of him, Kite.
I don't say that out loud, sorry.
No, that's good clarification. Good clarification. Cal, I'm gonna say
Sorry.
with those double nat ones, you feel like you get the wriggling feeling in the back of your head. You're missing something in this moment.
He absolutely is, but his mind is elsewhere, so he's just kind of like, whatever.
He didn't owe us any other money or anything, right?
No, because someone tried to break into his secret room.
I could have gotten in, so.
At which point Farv will go, well, it's been a pleasure. Thank you so much for helping me out with that. If you need any mechanicking done, you need any upgrades or mods or any of that kind of stuff, you know where to find me. Any kind of like tips is kind of workman's cap.
Did we establish before that this was like a resistance affiliated with Wit talking to Farv? Where is Wit? Where's Wit?
Wit's not here.
Fuck.
Where's Wit?
Whoa.
Oh no.
Yeah, where's Wit?
Wit? Oh, he went home. He lives over and he points over like out the window at like a different asteroid, which you see is kind of fashioned in like a turtle shell.
Is there anything that looks like the resistance, like affiliated here, other than like Wit was talking to Farv?
Sure, go ahead and make me a perception or an insight check. I'll say with advantage because you had uncovered that hidden bookshelf earlier.
Hey. Okay, my perception's good, so let's hope. 15. Oh, 20, actually. Dirty 20.
30, 20. I think in this moment, Lux is kind of looking around as Farv is kind of saying his goodbyes, and you look at it's strange. There's no obvious marking or demarcation of rebel activity, but as you look at the floor plan of the engineering bay, you recognize something funny. The way that it is set up in this kind of repeating pattern of triangles inside of each other.
Does this look remind me of anything?
Make a straight intelligence check.
Okay. Hey, could I use a Streamloots card?
You know what? I'll allow it. I'm also, I'll also say we're going to be doing some downtime stuff. You can also use the past lives thing to add like a D6 or whatever.
You know what? Lux doesn't get a long rest. I'm out of knowledge.
Yeah, you would have gotten a long rest between leaving the satellite and now being at Farv's place.
You said that Lux does not get the benefits of a long rest.
Oh, you're right. Never mind.
Yeah.
Strike that from the record. Yeah, you can use a Streamloots card. I'll be gracious.
Okay. I'm gonna play it. Oh, wait, no, that's not the right one! It's an attack roll! Fuck! Hold on! Well, next attack roll. 1 second, please. 1 second. I have it.
Go ahead and give that one back to you.
Wait, I have. No, I don't. 1 second. Nope. Nope.
Okay.
So I
with
have
the
a 9.
9 intelligence check. You don't know. The pattern looks complex to you, but you don't know what it's called. It was a DC 10 check.
Oh, you're fucking kidding me! You're kidding me!
Damn.
No!
Damn.
Can I?
Why did you tell them that?
Damn.
Okay.
Would you point this out to anyone, Lux?
Yes, I was gonna say Lux is. I was trying to think about how to do this. Stealthily. And so I think that because Lux knows Lance knows a lot of
Things about shapes.
yeah, thinks about fucking shapes sometimes. Who thinks of
It's
shapes?
lots of shape
Geometry.
knowledge.
It seems like a sign, because
Proficient in shapes.
because of Lance's involvement, because they're in 2 like secret organizations that overlap. I think that she believes that Lance would have the best chance of possibly knowing what this is. So she's going to nudge Lance, and she's gonna like try to mouth like try the triangles, and like gesture her head towards the paper where the floor plan is, like triangles.
Lance, make me an insight check with advantage, I'll say.
She can't talk too loud. It's right there.
This is 16.
16. I think with that 16 and with Lux's like nonverbal gesturing of triangles, like just imagining Lux making like a triangle shape with her hands, like down like at her stomach, like turned away from the guy so he can't see it.
Yeah, like one of those like you look down, you get punched, or you're
yeah.
One of those.
Lance, you see the triangle shape that Lux is making, and you look out at the floor plan, and you do see the triangles. Go ahead and make that same intelligence check with advantage. Same DC.
Because he's proficient in shapes.
I'm
Because he's proficient in shapes.
Because he's proficient in shapes.
I realized I just could have used Itzel for.
Yeah, that's
Damn
gonna be
it.
a 16.
16. You recognize the shape that the floor is roughly meeting out is a fractal.
Oh,
For sure.
good pick on my part. If you look at it.
So let's see. Yeah. Well, that's interesting. And this is the floor of.
The floor plan.
Yeah.
And like the way that the benches and the tool racks and like the various lifts and machinery and stuff, it's like laid out in like a fractaline pattern, you've realized.
And. And this guy's alone.
He seems to be. He's kind of like hanging out here.
That fucking door.
I'm feeling super suspicious of a person who's very into fractals and doesn't have an astral Trina with them, let me say. But we do try to keep on the down low. Is there some way I might be able to do an insight check on him to see if maybe he's an agent of the Mandelbrot set?
Absolutely. I'm going to say go ahead and make me an insight check with advantage.
Okay.
Ooh.
A 19.
With a 19 insight check, you realize that the floor pattern of the engineering bay, it's more than just a fractal. It is a humanoid fractal.
Oh my god.
Lux is staring at Lance, like trying to get some kind of answer out of him.
We're just kind of milling about at this point, I guess. Lance will kind of telepathically shoot a message to Lady and ask if she can try to talk to the floor.
Oh!
I feel like if they're like wandering around and doing stuff, Kite is just gonna like be annoyingly continuing to ask this guy questions.
I love that.
Like just trying to talk to him.
Yeah, I think that like are you talking about like anything in particular, like engineering stuff or?
Yeah, he'll just like start talking about spelljammers and like like what his like he'll act as though he is vetting him for potentially working on our spelljammer.
I love that. Go ahead and make me a persuasion check at advantage as you're like, because the goal is basically to distract him, right?
Yeah.
Yeah. Go ahead and make that
well, that was
persuasion
a
check.
19.
19?
So, hold on. Wait, no, not 19 total. 19. 22 total.
Very nice.
My first roll was a 19.
Nice.
Let's go.
With a 22 total, I'm gonna say like you're able to very easily enwrap him in conversation. It seems like he has a deep love for spelljammers and the creation of spelljamming vehicles and their engineering in general. And it's very easy. You're both very knowledgeable people, and also like you get the sense this is a shrewd businessman. He wants to make money as well, right? So like you saying, hey, I might have some work for you, but I need to, you putting him through the ringer. Not only is he happy to do so, but he's eager as well, right? And so it's very easy to distract him. And
this is the first thing he's done that makes me not distrust him.
Lance, so you have like Lady normally like sits on your shoulder, right?
Yeah.
Lady will, as you request for her to interface with the floor, she will like leap down and kind of take like a crouched position and place one hand on to like a piece of the pattern, which is like wiring that like just so happens to make like one of the most innermost cruxes of it where the face would be. And as you do so, or as she does so, the inner light that makes up like the fractaline magic of Lady's body flows into the like fractal pattern itself, and it will like fill it up and spread out to the rest of the layout of the shop until it is glowing with that same humanoid pattern. And at this point, like this interrupts your conversation, definitely, Galaxy, or definitely Kite, as like the light is filled, the room is filled with this light, and there is like a few tense moments of silence as like there is like a psychic communication happening between Lady and this astral chewinga that has been like placed into the floor seemingly, and they are like lighting up before Lady breaks contact and stands. And communicates to you, Werewolf, or communicates to you, Lance, that they are members of the set, and this is a set outpost.
Oh!
Oh my god. I whip towards this guy, and I'm like, God damn it, why is there literally no centralization with us? It is so hard, and I literally thought that you were a fucking corpo who had trapped a Chowinga. Are you kidding me?
He says to you in Mandelbrot set thieves can't. He says in plain English, I don't know what you mean, and in Mandelbrot set it's like he shrugs and he goes, sorry, you know how you know the rules.
God damn it. And I like let Lady hop back up onto my shoulder, and I'm like, listen, there's a lot to sort of discuss about whatever was going on at the station. The most important thing is I will be sending a message back to headquarters, but there is display. These people are fine. I don't know about any of your allies, but I trust these three. They've literally saved my life twice in as many days. We encountered a large number of displaced beings in that station.
And you're saying all this in plain common, right? You're not encoding your language.
Are we alone? Is it just the 5 of us?
Yeah, it's just the party and him. Yeah, Uglos is there as well.
Fuck it, I'm also saying in front of Uglos. Yeah.
No, not Uglos.
Lux is. Wait, are you saying?
Uglos is part of the resistance. They work with the Mandelbrot set occasionally.
No, I know. I was kidding. Sorry.
Yeah.
I actually like
we're
Uglos
good.
a lot.
Uglos is cool. I believe in this guy. He's not gonna fuck us over.
Him and his little wiggly antennas are.
I gotta put this point of order out here, though. You have not found out that he is with the resistance. You have found out that he is with the shambling hounds.
Then I'll say it in our sort of lingo.
Sure. I imagine it's like basically like communicating like a half second out of time, right? Like it just sounds weird otherwise.
Yeah, it kind of sounds like we're like mumbling.
Mm-hmm.
Like there's words happening, but it's not the proper words.
Can I pick up on the fact that Lance is using coded language?
Sure. Go ahead and make me an insight check to see if you can determine that.
17.
Yeah, you definitely get the sense that they're speaking in code.
Fuck. Lux is like. She leans over to Lance. And it's just like, what the fuck are you saying?
And I'm gonna keep talking to this guy.
Oh my god.
He will respond in coded and say, I will push a report forward to higher members of the tree. The door to the set's lair is somewhere in the founder's ward, but I've lost track of it recently. If you could find it, that would be very helpful.
We are heading to the founder's ward currently. I don't know if they'll be coming with me necessarily into anything, but you know, they're here and around. How are we feeling about Uglos? You seem pissed. Are you pissed?
You're asking this to Farv?
Yeah.
Yeah. He'll basically tell you, Uglos like basically failed him, and he's annoyed, because they took a chance. The thing going on at the satellite is like a Mandelbrot set operation, and including anybody is dangerous. And then these guys also failed.
Oh my gosh. So you're just like, okay, that's fine. Whatever. He's still coming with us. You have a shitty attitude. We're moving on.
He'll also say that he didn't even know that you were a member of the set initially. Like he didn't put it together with the Chewinga.
Well, that's true. And like Lady mostly hides up in my hair for the most part.
I was gonna say she hides most of the time, right?
Yeah. And I'll go. Yes. I joined a few years ago, and so I recognized the station when we were pulling up, and there were some interesting modifications, to be sure.
He'll say, how could you have recognized that it was an original design by the creator?
Lance's eye I think everyone sees Lance's eye just twitches and he doesn't say anything.
We don't know what you're saying, but we see your eye twitch.
Yeah, we're just doing like shop talk about some spelljammer parts, and Lance just stops talking about spelljammer parts, and like you just see his eye twitch for a second, and he goes, not important. I think he says that in common out loud, just not important.
Yeah, they blew through here a while back. They stuck around and helped me put together this little project, but then they left. I don't know where.
And these can again. I'm sorry. Teak was personally here?
Yeah, he stayed in this shop. He stayed in that room that your friend tried to break into.
Sorry.
Interesting. I must say, big ups. I think that like what you're doing with your Chewinga, as long as they're cool with it, very cool idea. I do apologize for my friend. She has a problem with lockpicks. And yeah, like I said, we encountered both displaced things from the past and the future, which was a pretty big deal. So I will go try and, if you could push a report, I'll go try and debrief in person.
Will do. Yeah, I saw the blip on my orrery, and I hate sending people over there, but somebody's got to run this small outpost as it is.
For
right?
sure.
So, all right, great.
I think once we get back on the ship, I'll communicate a bunch of that stuff to you guys too. Except probably the bit about Teak, but that's fine. And cool and fine.
Yeah, I think we just smash cut. We just smash cut onto the ship. Y'all are in like the hold that y'all have kind of fashioned into a little bit of a war room. There's like a kind of like table and like a small table that has been set up out of the crates and stuff that are in there. Y'all are sitting on smaller crates. Everybody's there. Picasso's there. Uglis is there.
But Wit left. Damn it! Where did Wit go? I don't.
He went home.
Table. I don't fucking believe that. But it's fine.
I would assume that Wit is probably in respite, if not traveling somewhere else.
Okay.
Our organization's kind of, there's no animosity. The two of us, beef happens sometimes.
I was saying
Not
that above
necessary.
table. Sorry.
What?
I was saying that above table. I'm sorry.
Oh, gotcha. I mean, also, this is Arthur's personal belief. Like, our groups have beef, but not necessarily the same way that, like, Wit and my group work together.
Oh, okay. Yeah. Okay, that sounds good. Cool. I do think that when Lance explains that Farv is part of the set, Lux just has this look on her face, and she's just like, "Of course it's the fucking set. Of course."
What do you mean, of course?
He was annoying. She looks at Lance.
Pardon me, yeah?
How does that? Never mind.
It's like, no, I get it. Sometimes there are organizations where everyone has a particular attitude. I'm not saying that the set does. He looks at Lance.
It's just we're a lot more relaxed than they are over there at Planet Scary Lady. And so that does cause some butting of heads occasionally.
Planet of Scary Lady. Interesting. Well, maybe we're just more organized.
Kite looks confused. He's like trying to put it together because he's so like removed from all of this stuff normally. He's still learning, so he's like quietly under his breath, he's like, Ira? Like he's not quite sure.
But anyway,
it's because we're more organized, that's why.
Listen, decentralization can be good sometimes. I was particularly frustrated about it in that moment, but there are perks to it.
Also, are you that much more organized?
Mm-hmm.
Oh yeah, they have whole systems, and everyone has a calling card, and it's like, you would really think eventually you would run out of calling cards in terms of like, oh, this is a dead body that I killed, but whatever.
Doesn't that seem
yeah,
like
but when he
thing you
says
should
that,
do?
he gives Lux like this look like Ariel though.
She's
because
like,
what are you doing?
Oh my god.
He doesn't voice the "what are you doing," but he gives her a look like, okay, and what are you doing?
Doesn't need to be said, right?
She whispers at him. She whispers at Cal, like, "Look, I'm an exception. Everybody
I'm
else."
still screaming about triangles. What a whole galaxy enveloping brain move to look at me and go, triangles.
Oh, okay. So you're making this about intelligence. Okay.
No, that's not what I was saying. You are sneaky, just not when you need to relay an important fact to someone else across the room.
No. Look. He didn't see me, did he? No, you saw me. So I did exactly what I was.
Fair enough. Okay. Well, Cal, I know you wanted to look into some ship parts for the ship. We do have some gold. Do we want to just split this 4 ways, or do we want to try and keep a little bit of a ship fund?
We should probably start a ship fund.
Yeah, these things are expensive to maintenance. Though this seems like it might be a little easier to maintenance than other spelljammers.
So, friendly reminder, the crates that y'all are sitting on are filled with about 5,000 gold worth of starite.
Mm-hmm.
Oh,
That's
right.
Oh, yeah.
Is that something we could offload?
Yeah. In fact, as a piece of world building, so starite is how gold and money, currency in this universe, are backed, basically. So each piece of gold and silver and bronze, each credit value has different amounts of starite in it, so you can literally burn money for power in this universe.
Yeah, I think that we should head into respite. I know we were stopping just kind of on the edge of things for you, Uglos.
Oh yeah, I'm in the biotic district of Valheaven, just right over this way, and the ship. I assume like y'all are having like a little bit of this conversation after the fact in the helm, and it's very easy to pilot on over that direction. You see that this part of the asteroid field is covered with like lots of like greenery and life. You see like mosses and plants stringing along the chains and covering the asteroids that are like kind of locked in, as well as like just large and strange exotic plants that are blooming there and many places. And you see one of the largest asteroids is called Bleeding Briars, and it just looks like an incredibly busy and hopping bar where like you see like big plants are kind of like, it almost seems like it's been carved out, a large section has been carved out of the middle of it, and it's like plants are kind of growing out of this like almost like ridged canyon-esque aesthetic as these large blooms are popping out of the top of it. And he goes, yeah, this is me. Thank you again. If you ever need anything from the Shambling Hounds, I'm pretty, I'm just a techie for these boys, but they're, good people for the most part. And if you ever need anything, I'm happy to help you out. And he gives you a reassuring antenna wiggle.
Just take care of yourself.
I love him so much.
Hey, would you be able to fly for a bit? I need to make a quick stop in the powder room.
Yeah, of course. And he takes
And I pull
over.
out my mobile wardrobe and take it.
God.
Basic. Uglos floats off to the bar. Kite, you fly the ship back to the docks?
Yeah. I guess, yeah. That's where we were before, right?
Yeah, definitely. As you've been kind of flying through Valheaven, you've definitely recognized that you could absolutely, if you wanted to, park your ship in Valheaven somewhere in some of these parking districts. But you also see that it's pretty lawless out here and quite a bit more dangerous. And as you continue to go back to the kind of inner sanctum of the Founders Ward of Respite, you see that there are guards and like automated defenses, that kind of thing, in order to help keep the vehicles and the vessels safe as you kind of pull in. You see that there are there is a dock worker waiting for you as you pull up, and you see it is I don't think Kite was there for that, but if you had been, you'd see it was the same dock worker as before.
Yeah, Kite just kind of like wanders out with the paperwork.
Hey, I recognize this ship. Welcome back. Howdy.
Hi. Yeah, sorry, we were in the wrong place before. My mistake. And he just says, "We'd like to dock here. What do we need to do for that?"
Yeah, absolutely. You got your registry and docking fee.
Yeah. right here, and he offers the registry, and he's thinking to himself, docking fee?
Right, yeah.
We do have that little bit, that 100 that we can start to pull some money from for docking
Yeah.
and stuff.
Great. And he will go over and start to like look at the registry and like start to examine the ship a little bit. So I'm gonna say in this moment, Kite is out there interfacing with the dock worker. Is anybody piloting the ship right now?
I guess Cal can pilot the ship since Lance is indisposed and Kite is doing the dealings.
Okay, amazing. Cal, you're sitting at the ship. You can sense the dock worker moving to and fro on the docks, and you can hear all the conversation that is happening. Kite, you hear the dock worker say, "All right, great. You know, it's interesting. Like I see on your registration here, it says that it's a three manifold engine vessel, and I'm only seeing the one on here. Do you know what's going on with that?"
We got into a little bit of an asteroid field, and we lost some stuff. We need to make some repairs, but yeah, we managed to get it running again.
Go ahead and make a deception check, as well as an insight check in this moment.
Oh no.
Cal, while this is happening, you can also make this insight check.
Okie dokie.
Oh no. The deception check was a 14, and his insight was a 9.
Insight is a 13.
Can I have Lux kind of hiding, listening next to, like, kind of behind the door a little bit so that the person can't see them, but she can hear what Kite is saying?
You're like peeking over, like you're like on the deck, like crouched down next to them.
Yes.
Sure, you can make an insight check. You'll be at disadvantage though, because you're not looking at them directly.
If I'm using Itzel, can it be normal?
I'll say yes.
Okay. Okay, so you said insight?
Yes.
Okay. 16.
Nice. Okay. So first the insight, and then okay. So everybody in this moment, I think, gets the sense that that is out there. Lance is busy changing. Everybody else gets the sense that like this dock worker is kind of just making idle chatter with you. Like you're not like clear that he has any negative intentions behind this. He's just like, oh, this is what a funny thing like this. I literally got a 1 and a 2 on my insight and deception. So
Nice.
He goes, oh yeah, I see a little bit of damage. Like it looks like there's some scorch mark there, and he points to the places where some of the amoebas in stomach tin kind of chewed on it a little bit, chewed on the Nimbus, and goes, yeah, man, we got some great mechanics in the Founders Ward. I can point you in a direction if you want, or
It's like, sure, that'd be great. Thank you.
Question. Is he stalling? Or is he just being normal?
I'm gonna say you get the sense that he is being normal, though I think that there is maybe an ulterior motive to it. Like the way that he suggested a mechanic depot to you suggests intention, I think.
Getting a little money under the table to point people to the right directions.
Ah.
Yeah.
Not the end of the world.
If you're ever looking for a good mechanic who's got low rates, go check out Big Steve. He runs a great shop.
Big Steve.
Does he seem associated with anything?
Lux, as you hear them mention Big Steve, go ahead and make a history check.
Okay.
DC 28 for all the people named Steve in this multiverse.
Can I use Itzel? Can I use Itzel for the next? Can I use Itzel again?
I'm gonna say you can use Itzel, but because you didn't call it before, and you have to reroll.
I don't ask how Itzel's going to help you with a history check.
How is it going to help you with a history check?
Itzel has a bunch of history of
In that little dog brain.
I'm just imagining Peabody from like the old, like those old cartoons, right? Like,
look, he has like an aura, like essential aura, where they help your brain.
Oh my goodness.
20, dirty.
No, it would have just been the first number, not the rerolled with advantage. So it would have just been, and this is insight, not history.
It's supposed to be a history check, not an insight check.
It's
We're
fine.
gonna do it again.
No, it's fine. So you got the
No, we'll do it again.
plus 1, so 13. 13 on the history check. The name Big Steve doesn't ring any bells to you. You get the sense that this might be maybe a local joint instead of a franchise.
Oh god, I'm sus.
I think it's just this dude being paid off.
Yeah.
Like he's working a shitty dock job and he's making extra money by referring people.
Okay.
You know, the referring economy where they're like, all you gotta do is bring a friend and we'll give you $10.
How are you making this an MLM joke so easily?
So good. All right.
Yeah, Kite just takes the information and thanks him, and then is promptly trying to get GTFO because he's got the vibe that this guy could be onto them. Like he got a 9, but he's just like worried that this guy is onto them.
Sure, like yeah, I definitely think that Kite is like, I didn't feel like there was anything suspicious going on in this moment, but that doesn't make me feel better.
Yeah.
Yeah, so you quickly like take your papers back, say a quick goodbye and head on off. Y'all dock your ship, and at this point I think we're just a moment of silence comes over the vessel as y'all kind of come to rest, and we're going to take this time and just go into a little bit of a downtime moment. So as the party is hanging out, y'all are going to have about a day or so before anything really truly like huge kicks off. So y'all are gonna have the opportunity to do some various things that y'all might want to do in this moment. So we're gonna go around and figure out what that might be. I'm gonna go ahead and roll a D4 and see who's gonna go first. Lance, what does your day look like?
Okay, so first, Lance emerges from his changing. And this outfit is going to be even more unhinged than the last one. I am going to post reference pictures in Torn Discussion in the Discord. But his hair, which has actually changed color, actually looks a bit like Peleus clouds now, which are like these really big fluffy clouds that above them have like rainbow halos. And he styled it in a way that looks like Raggio from the Kill la Kill video game, where it's like these buns that are stacked on top of each other. He has these colorful crochet bell bottoms that are made out of granny squares. Is wearing a crop top sports like football jersey for the Cloud 8 Kindori. It's like a teal jersey. And he's decided twice in a row, hunting boots are out now. He's wearing the chunkiest platform heels that are Barbie pink. So a bunch of reference pictures over in Torn Discussion now. And I think having that discussion a couple days ago, I think 2 days ago at this point, where we were all talking about the equation that Lance was working on. He kind of starts, so the like central part of that equation is whether or not the probability of a thing is above or below Teek's number, which is like a mathematical constant. And he starts thinking about that and thinking about how the number was so wildly out of variance. And he starts going through the mathematical proof to get to Teek's number again. It's something that like he learned when he was still at Cloud 8, learning from Teek personally. And I think he's just kind of like, instead of going out and doing anything in the city of Respite, I think that he's just kind of lost in some math today. So it's like him and Lady are kind of going through these steps again.
That's amazing. I love the idea of getting incredibly dressed up to do a fucking bunch of intense math. Also, that's really good.
It's like, it's also, but it's like very comfy things.
Right.
They're like chunky platforms, so it's easy to walk in. These like crochet pants and like a comfy crop top. It's very comfy clothes.
Absolutely.
Comfy chic.
You are in the zone as you sit down and just begin to like bang this mathematical equation out, following this tangent, this thread that you have and are visualizing and can't let go. Go ahead for me. As you dive into this math and magic, go into this. Make me a Arcana check with advantage, as I assume you have Lady help.
Yeah, Lady's here with me.
Absolutely.
And I think she's in her like kind of like small, like 13-inch Barbie size form. Just kind of like hovering in the air because she has a fly speed, and we're just kind of like passing the chalk back and forth.
Yeah, absolutely. She's just kind of like floating and like y'all will have like a disagreement about something, and she'll like float over to the board and erase the thing, and then like
draw
it. Yeah.
And that's a 25.
Wow. So I was going to give you varying levels of success based on how well you roll, and a 25 is the best. So you're going to get all the information here.
Cool.
While you are doing this algorithm, so as you know, when you're doing like mathematics and especially mathemagics, when you are like charting out literal magical processes and power exchanges, that kind of thing. As you're doing this kind of stuff, it is there are incredibly long form proofs of this. Like a magical circle that you can look at is like a base. It's like looking at basically like E equals MC squared, right?
Yeah, it includes like all the shortcuts of like,
exactly.
You know, there's a lot of base kind of mathematic proofs, but then it's like we can assume that these already exist, and we're working with the specific stuff.
Right. So you go back to the beginning, and you assume nothing, and you start there, and even with your high intelligence and Lady's help, and even Helm chimes in a couple of times as you are doing so, this takes you all day. This is a like, it almost feels like you are channeling something, like the muse of mathematics has spoken to you. And in this moment, you realize a few things. You realize that the events that have transpired over the past couple of weeks, the Ouroboros and the Artux and the Clockwork Horrors, the Clara Soul, all of that happening within the past few weeks, not only is that above Teek's constant, it is several whole values above Teek's constant, which is not. That is so unlikely. It is basically deemed to be mathematically impossible, right?
Yeah, like if you imagine it as a number, it's like if it's Teek's constant is 1, like a normal variation, like something small that is like, okay, someone go send in, we'll send it back to HQ, is like 1.08, so like magnitude's greater.
Exactly. And with the 25, I'm gonna say you get something. The implication of this as you write the final stroke and you take in what this means, as you process the implication, something greater to you pops into your head, and you realize that this such a great level of difference, such a great level of success feels like you are seeing the beginning of something new. Like, you are the smallest cell of a fractal, or maybe the largest cell and of a new fractal, and it is beginning to split outwards from this point in space-time.
And I think like Lance starts to like actually sort of map out what that sort of fractal looks like in a like kind of broad sense, and it's like these like 4 lines that are kind of like forming like they're kind of shooting out from each other in a bit of a curve, you know. And he looks at it and goes, well, all that math to get another question, but that's just the way it is, I guess. And I kind of like take a step back again, and I'm looking at Teeks Constant, and I'm like, you start all the way back at the beginning, and this is just the random probability that I might wear a white shirt on a Tuesday, huh? Well, I'm gonna start to, I think that Lady and I are going to start doing our like telepathic sort of information sharing, and we're kind of packaging this proof in a way that we can like hand it off to other people through their familiar, you know. Kind of a like Johnny mnemonic kind of like there's a USB in my brain, like some way that we can kind of communicate with, like basically zipping all this information into a file that can send it off.
Yeah, exactly. Amazing. Yeah. I'm gonna say in this moment, as you're kind of packaging this information, Lady casts the spell Thought Strand on you and pulls from your mind in a physical piece of fractaline data this mathematical concept. And as it does so, as the entirety of what you just proofed out is condensed into a single point of like hard light physical energy, it glows intensely bright as Lady slurps it into her body and becomes one with it.
Definitely. And I think like there is just like a little bit of a moment where she like kind of augments and diminishes in size a couple of times as she's kind of like bringing that information in and kind of figuring out how to like kind of handle having this sort of big fractal equation in her.
Absolutely. And as this happens, the physical nature of her own inner fractal has changed slightly, and you recognize it to be more akin to this new fractal that you're seeing.
Interesting. Well, I'm absolutely spent. I think it's time to go find a Mai Tai. And I think we'll head out of the room with that.
Amazing. Awesome. Yeah, you are able to find a bar, no problem. They are all over the place in the Founders Ward. This one is called the Sky Dragon. As you come down, and it looks kind of just like it looks kind of like very cloudy to you. Like it looks like a little bit like of a slice of Cloud9. Like you get that same. It's kind of made out of the same kind of hard, like denser clouds.
I think that as Lance is approaching and kind of makes the connection, he rolls his eyes and will take off his small glasses before placing the like domino like the black and white half mask on his face before heading into the establishment.
Oh, absolutely. And it's got, that establishment has that like classic kind of like Art Deco aesthetic of like kind of pastels as you push in. And I think we cut from that scene as Lance enters wearing the mask. I love that. Yeah. Awesome. Cool. Next, let's go ahead and let's pivot on over to Kite. So Kite, this the part y'all are this is during your downtime. What is it? How does Kite spend his time?
So I think Kite starts by seeing if he can find anywhere that seems to be like a library or like a place of knowledge, somewhere where he can do like a little bit of research.
Yeah, absolutely. I think the Founders Ward has definitely has a smaller library that you can access.
Okay, cool. He's gonna go there, and he's going to, you know, like those like old school things where you could like look through like a bunch of different like newspaper pages all at once. You could just like slide through them on like slides or whatever. He's gonna look for something akin to that. And he is gonna bring out a little book separate from his spell book. And he has a bunch of things written down in there that he's keeping kind of secret and a little bit hidden from anyone around, but he is trying to correlate what are essentially dates that he knows certain things have happened, and any kind of like major potential catastrophes or things that seem like coincidences or moments of strange potentiality and things like that. So he's gonna start just like kind of by trying to see if he can sit around and just like correlate like dates and times and see if he can like figure anything out based on like this information that he's definitely like stolen from his family.
Sure. Do you want to spend your entire day doing this, or do you want to spend like half your day doing this? What are you thinking?
I'm thinking like half of the day.
Okay. I'm gonna say go ahead and make just a flat investigation check.
Okay.
I guess you could use Doldrum if you'd like as well.
Oh, okay, cool.
So make that with advantage.
Cool. Investigation. Oh my god, I forgot how good his investigation is. I'm sorry. Hold on. I need a calculator. That's a 26.
Wow. Okay. With a 26, what are there? I'm gonna say you can ask me 3 questions about any specific event.
Oh man. Okay. Okay, so he's gonna, so to start, he wants to see if any news was released around the time that Farv informed us that things started going poorly on that satellite, about the Billowing Mountains, like, doing really well, or like their stock going up, you know, like some kind of financial, like specific financial or material gain associated with that happening from the Billowing Mountains that he can kind of correlate happened at about the same time.
Sure. You don't find something like that, but you do find something associated with the Bellowing Mountains. They had recently one of the gates of the glom and the bubble and the core worlds used to like get around very quickly for those that don't have like the ability to jump with their spelljammer vessels. It had gone down at that time, and the Bellowing Mountains was able to step in and fix it in a matter of a few short hours.
Okay, cool. Noted. And then he also wants to see if there's a correlation between like a date from about like say like a year ago, like he's gonna try and find like some large scale like catastrophe that might have happened somewhere, and see if it correlates with anything that any of the dates or anything that he has in his book.
Sure, absolutely. I'm going to say, yeah, you definitely do find that as well. You find that there was basically a cataclysmic earthquake that occurred on a far-off mining asteroid, or a mining colony on an asteroid that resulted in the deaths of like tons of workers and resulted in the mine basically being completely closed down as a result.
Okay, cool. And I think last thing he's gonna do is see if there seems to be any large-scale catastrophes that have happened since he's left home that he could record. He just wants to record them in his book. He just wants to like write them down.
Kite left home like about a year or two ago at this point.
Yeah, well, no, I think it's been a little less than a year. It's been like a couple of months. He hasn't been gone for too long.
I think at this point, you're looking at the books, and you see that they, even with the 26, the amount of stuff that is just terrible, the amount of disasters that have happened in that time frame, don't correlate outwardly to anything that has happened directly with the Bellowing Mountains that you can ascribe, right?
Okay, cool.
Like, I think even that event with the miners in ages past, there was no outward thing that the Bellowing Mountain that happened to the Bellowing Mountains, but as you were an insider in that time, that it was a moment of great prosperity for a reason that was always unknown to Kite.
Yes, that makes sense. Okay, cool. So, I think once he's kind of done that and like played around with this a little bit, he's gonna try and look into the Chronolorians and see if he can find any just like in general information about their level of technology, as well as if there's any kind of records of a ship like Nimbus existing in their, like, if we have any like record of like there being a ship potentially like this, like kind of like how we're like, yeah, we know that Cleopatra was a real person, we're just like not really sure where she's buried, like if there's anything like that, like about something like the Nimbus, basically.
Sure. I would say you could definitely make this check. You can definitely attempt to do research in this library. However, you recognize a couple things. One, that is going to take the rest of your day.
Yes.
So that would be the remainder. Okay. And two, this library is fairly small and is like, you definitely it definitely had like a news archive, right? Like that was something much more tangible that you could reference. So this kind of check, even with having Doldrum help you, this will be at disadvantage. So it will be a flat check.
Okay. I'll still do it.
Okay.
Well, that's not good. Investigation again?
Yes, go and make an investigation.
13.
13. I'm going to say,
yeah,
as you look through the library, there is... You spend hours collecting lore and information about the Chronolorians, and a lot of it is mythology at best and hearsay at worst, right? It appears like all this information is from the time before the spelljammer era, right? So we're talking hundreds, if not thousands of years ago, right? When the gods were still believed to be real, right? When the gods were still had manifestation of themselves in the universe to some capacity, or at least that's what it states in the old tales, right? It was the time of miracles, and as a result, it's very difficult to be able to tell on an analytical level what was real and what wasn't, right? Like there are talks of individuals bigger than planets that would be lit aflame and would do terrible battle with huge vessels that of tentacle varieties, right? Like it's all very like flowery and difficult to actually like pin the grain of truth. That being said,
got it. Okay.
With the 13 though, I will say you do find that there is a mention and a mention of a ship, and as you like look into it, you find that this ship is where the word spelljammer comes from.
Okay. Okay, so there was kind of like they had a ship that it's kind of like we have like words that are like, you know, this was the Latin word for X, and now we use it to mean something that's been kind of derived from that, even though if it's not exactly the same thing. Does that make sense?
Yeah, exactly. Right. Like, I think that's like a pitch perfect example, right? Because in ancient times, this would have referred to a specific incarnation of that thing, right? But in our modern times, we just use it to refer to all things of that nature, right?
Okay. That makes sense, yeah. Okay. Yeah, and then do we have... How many days do we have? Is it just the one?
Just the one.
Oh, okay, well... Oops. He didn't practice at all with Nimbus. That'll be fine, though. I'm sure it'll be fine.
Yeah, as you are kind of heading back, Kite, go ahead and make a perception check for me.
Okay. No. Oh, no! What's my perception? Oh, 9 total.
9 total. You are, lost in thought, Doldrum at your side, and you do not see the several diminutive figures that kind of creep up on you. They are all wearing kind of dark kind of outfits, suits, and you you kind of like are lost in thought, and you bump into one of them. They are, like I said, about thigh height to you. They are quite small, and as you kind of bump into it, you realize they are also fairly thin. You look down and you realize that they have like shining gossamer wings, and you are surrounded by about a half a dozen fairies, each in fine suits.
Oh, I'm so sorry. I was thinking a little too hard. And he tries to like politely like bow or something and quickly like shuffle himself out of the situation, just like real awkward.
If you try to shuffle out, the fairies will move to block you, and the one that as you say that, the one that you bumped into will say, you hear that? You hear that, boys? This cat says he's sorry. He was too busy thinking.
I am sorry.
Maybe he should have been thinking a little harder when he left our boy at that satellite.
Well, excuse me?
And then one of the small guys says, "Yeah, you left me at that satellite. I was hiding in that cupboard. You didn't even try to save me."
Well, I didn't know you were there. I'm sorry.
What is his excuses? I don't want you. And then the other fairy, like, he goes, Don Sider's not gonna be wanting to hear about this.
You didn't reveal yourself to us. How are we supposed to know you were there? We can't read minds.
the fairy shrugs like an asshole.
This is ridiculous. Please let me leave. What is happening right now?
Now he wants to leave. Why don't we say you can leave for 50 gold? How about that?
What? No. Excuse me. No. I don't even know if you were actually on that satellite, or if you just got that information from someone somewhere.
Kite, go ahead and make either a persuasion check or an intimidation check. Your choice. You can make it with advantage
or intimidation
if you want to use Doldrum as well.
Yeah, I'll get Doldrum involved. Okay, with advantage, you said?
Yeah, with advantage.
Okay. Okay, well, the first one was a 19, so let's, persuasion would be 19, 20, 21, 22 total.
So, what does it look like as Kite intimidates these guys?
Oh, that wasn't intimidation. That was persuasion. If it was intimidation, it was just 19.
Oh, sorry. So 22 total. The fairy goes, your fish is pretty cute. How about 25 gold? That's my final offer.
No, absolutely not. I'm not giving you money. I don't even know if this fairy was actually there. No offense.
You see them draw weapons.
Kite is like, oh, you gotta be. This is ridiculous. And he's gonna. I think he's gonna cast Tasha's hideous laughter
Amazing.
on like the one that's talking to him. So it needs to make a wisdom saving throw.
All right, we're very briefly going to just roll initiative.
Okay.
Just Kite.
Oh my god.
Oh,
That is a 20. A dirty 20.
I think you're definitely you're gonna go first, so go ahead and cast Tasha's hideous laughter.
Yeah, so he like really quickly swipes his wand out and like pulls a little like tiny tart out of like, it's like an egg tart that he pulls out of his bag. It's like a little bit moldy. Like it's like he just like has these tiny tarts around for this. And he smashes and crumbles it in his hands before he like whips his wand out in front of this like fairy.
Hell yeah. Is hideous laughter single target?
Let me look.
Because I think it's AoE, right?
Yeah, it's no, it's a creature of your choice.
All right, amazing. Yeah, I got a 6 on the die, so I don't think he's not gonna make that roll against whatever your DC is.
No, he's laughing very hard and he falls prone.
Yeah, I think this is like the lead fairy that you cast this on, and he starts laughing hard and he falls prone, and the other fairies are like laughing with him, kind of like in the way that you laugh with the boss when he laughs, but they're like ha huh what as he's laughing. Do you move, Kite?
Yeah, he's gonna use his feline agility to make himself. It only gives me. Wait, hold on. Oh yeah, it doubles my speed. And he's gonna just like legit like hop over these fairies like a cat would like hop over a tower of toilet paper that its owner has put in front of it, you know?
Oh,
Very specific reference.
It was the first thing I thought of.
Amazing. The three goons behind you have not closed in the distance in order to be able to take attacks of opportunity against you, but the 2 up next to you are able to do so if you dash past. Is that okay?
Yep, that's fine.
I got 17 and an 18 to hit.
Oh god, yeah, both of those hit.
Oh, they rolled really well too. You are gonna take 20 points of damage total, as they're just batons whack into you.
I didn't need shield.
Kite does need shield. Kite like gets hit and he's just like, shit. He keeps booking it. He's got 60 feet of movement. So
excellent. So feline agility at the end of next turn, you're not going to be able to use that again until you don't move for a turn, correct?
Yes.
Okay.
Yeah.
Just wanted to double check. Just the wording of feline agility
is weird. Yeah.
It's a little strange. Okay, great. That is your turn. Kite dashes away 60 feet as you see the fairies about to give chase. A woman emerges from an alley. She is wearing a duster with a cowboy hat and badass cowboy boots, and you see her draw a shining revolver and fire into, like, just a spread shot almost into the crowd of fairies, making them make dex saves.
Oh no. Oh boy.
They all fail, and they are like stuck. The ones who could move, the one with hideous laughter is just rolling on the ground. But the ones who could move, they started to move forward, and she's like fanning the ground at their feet, like making them dance and unable to move. She's basically taken their movement away from them on this turn. And she goes, "Run! I'll cover you."
He just keeps running though.
Okay, we're gonna drop out of initiative. Kite just guns it away. You make it back to the Nimbus, hearing gunshots like happening, firing behind you as this mysterious figure has saved you.
I think Kite's in love. But he gets on the ship and he's a little too stressed to think about it.
Kite, what happened? I sense that your heart rate is exceptionally high.
It's like, there were these fairies, and they tried to like shake me down for money because we supposedly left one of their friends on the satellite, and then I was trying to get away from them, and they hit me, and it really hurt. And they were strong for tiny little things, and then there was this woman who came out of nowhere, and she just started shooting them like with like a revolver, like kind of like Cal's, and it was. Where's Cal? Was that one of his friends? Where is he?
Amazing. And I think with that we cut to Cal. So what is Cal doing on his day off?
His day starts as they usually do. He is in trance, and he's once again trying to unravel the mysteries of whatever knowledge got downloaded into him and Helm when they both kind of mind melded together.
Yeah, absolutely. Sorry, continue to narrate.
Oh no, go ahead.
I was going to say go ahead and make an intelligence saving throw as you do so.
Yes. 17.
That is very good. You feel yourself tap into this knowledge, and you are skimming through it in the kind of way that your normal trances do, right? Like you have, it's not so much because there's such a wealth of knowledge, right? And it is more than one sentient being's experience. It is numerous sentient being experiences. Mm-hmm. And it is massive. And it is similar to that in that it feels like a repository of not limitless knowledge, but the limit is so high that it would take lifetimes to experience it all, right? And which is convenient because time doesn't really pass in the Astral City. So you're looking through this with that 17. I'm going to say, go ahead and roll me just a flat D20. You want a high number on this.
Okay. I got a 9.
You have a moment where you are looking through this information, this psionically encoded intel. And it is strange. A lot of this information, it is visual in nature. Like you are seeing like horizons and worlds and places that you've never seen before. These are alien landscapes and terrains, and the perspective is always so strange. It's never like a humanoid perspective. You're never on like the ground or anything like that. Very, very rarely are you. It's always this like bird's eye view where you are like almost soaring above these landscapes. And as you look down, you see just world after world stretching out in front of you. And it amalgamizes in your mind, right? It blurs together and becomes one horizon and one world. And it is overwhelming and breathtaking, but there is a moment when you catch the shine of something bright red, and it gives you pause in this moment, and you back up. And as you back up, like slowing down, you see a moment that is impossible to you. You see yourself from a smaller perspective, looking up. And as you are looking at yourself, you see the version that you're seeing raise your revolver and fire, blowing the vision away. And you wake with a gasp.
What was that? And Cal his mind reeling. You know, it's always very just desensitizing to see yourself from an angle that's not of the self, and he's, you know, trying to put it together, trying to make sense of it, but also just like, you know, coming out of a trance, like coming out of a dream. Like, the more he tries to grab onto it and hold on to it so that he can, you know, analyze it and make it make sense, it just continues to kind of like slip through the cracks of his fingers and like back into the recesses of his mind.
As you are clinging to it, make me an insight check at disadvantage as you are attempting to glean as any information, right?
Mm-hmm. That's a 12.
12? That is not terrible. I'm going to say you recognize the scene that played out. It just happened. It was on the satellite.
Huh. He is still completely confused by that because it just happened, and yet at the angle he viewed it from, it's completely unfamiliar. It's hard to, you know, place exactly when that happened. But he is going to hold on to that and tuck it away, you know, kind of in the recesses, just like kind of tuck it away for later, because as he's now fully conscious and fully back in the now, it's, oh right. And so he like grabs his bag of holding and he, you know, ruffles through it again, and he pulls out this obsidian colored, it almost looks like a drill, and it's the size of like a human head. And he reaches out into it telepathically. And he says, "Good morning."
You telepathically receive a response of the sun dawning.
Got any more clues for me today?
You get a psychic affirmation, at which point I'm going to need another, this time a wisdom saving throw.
Gotcha. That's a 6.
You take 13 points of psychic damage, as not with malice or ill intention, just due to the sheer magnitude of this imagery and this thought is pressed into your head, and you have a vision imparted to you by the egg. You see several things that flicker together, similar to a trance, similar to like what you just came out of. You see, the first thing that you see is the corpse of a being larger than is fathomable. You see it is eclipsing a planet in size. It is huge. The shadow of it is being cast by a large blue sun that is like, the shadow is falling on the planet, and it is massive, like the sun, bigger than mountains, but bigger than the moon that is orbiting it. And you see it is in that moment like rotating and like flickering, and as it flickers, you see it goes from being bare and empty to having structures kind of built alongside it and inside of parts of it. The next thing that you see is what appears to be, from that same angle, the structures disappear, and this is in the past, and you see the being is alive now. It is not dead, and it is It is huge and flaming, and with golden energy wings expanding from its back, with a halo that is not circular but fractal in nature above it, like a lit in the same flames as the rest of it. And you see it is wielding a huge weapon. The weapon itself is it is shifting and changing, and it looks like it is not able to keep form. It looks like it is probability and potential in manifest as the weapon changes, as you see, and the god is lit up like machine gun fire, boom 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 boom, into its chest. These golden, or not golden, but like glowing bright bullets the color of the infinite just burst through his chest into its chest cavity, blasting out its stomach and out the back. And you see the light extinguishes from it in a moment, and this god or godlike being dies. And from that death scene, as you see like the final breath of this being exhale, you zoom outward, like the bubble is shrinking beneath your steps, and you see the expanse of the bubble, the entirety. You see the core worlds, you see the black hole at the center of it all, that the entirety of it all rotates around, and you see that where you are, you know your location in this moment, you know where Respite is. Where you are is very, very close to that dead god's final resting place, and you see you are getting closer as Respite seems to be orbiting towards it. And there is this moment as you are watching the majesty of creation spinning in front of you, the black hole at the center of it all kind of sitting there demurely as it all rotates around. And in that moment of peace and of letting your guard down, a shadowy claw emerges from the black hole and reaches for you, and you are pulled out in that moment. But you still feel the claw marks on your conscious, on your psyche, and that's where the psychic damage comes from.
Okay. Fuck. Okay. He reaches up and instinctively like wipes at his nose, and that's when he notices that as this being like grasped at his conscience for even just a second, like that there was blood trickling down, and he hurriedly, wipes that away, and he's like, okay, we're close. Okay, you'll be whole again soon. I promise. And he goes to put this object back into his bag of holding with great reverence. It's very gentle, even if he doesn't necessarily have to be. And that's when he, takes the moment to go wash his face, get himself back together. And he decides he's gonna kind of walk this off. He's gonna walk Respite. And for a split second, he goes to put on his duster, and he decides not to. He leaves it hanging on the outside of the door of the room that he's claimed. And he takes this time for everybody being occupied with their own things to just slip off the ship, kind of like unnoticed. And he even like leaves a mental note with home, like, I'll be back. Don't worry about telling anybody where I am. I promise I won't get any trouble. Even though he knows that he can never promise that to anybody. And he starts to wander. And as like he's wandering, his thoughts go to the refugees that they brought back and the dwarven gentleman that he had spoken to about Lux. And he remembers that, you know, he's here in this area. So maybe he'll go and try and see if he can find him and see if he's reconnected with his family.
Yeah, absolutely. I'm gonna say you can make either like a survival check if you want to like hunt through the area to attempt to find him, right? Or you can make like a persuasion check to attempt to like look around and like maybe talk to people.
Survival or persuasion?
Or if you have another idea of how Cal would go about that, I'm open to suggestion.
I mean, it really comes down to like, do I want to roll with like a +0 or a +1? The only other, I would maybe say he could also possibly do this with perception. Just like kind of noting where some of these neighborhoods may be a little bit more lively because people have returned that have not been here in a while.
Absolutely. I love that. Go ahead and make me that perception check.
'23.
Yeah, absolutely. You're looking around the Founders District, and I'm going to say with that 23, you're walking, and you find yourself in like what seems to be like some part of the town square, like maybe this section of town square, and you happen to see them walking about. They look they look great, actually. You see them, they look a lot more like filled out, like they kind of were maybe a little sallow and malnourished, but they look like much stronger. Their beard which was kind of like a dull shine to it, now is like shining chrome instead, and they look great as you see them walking.
Cal's gonna call out and he's gonna say, "Hey, you look fantastic."
He catches your eye and he goes, "Oh, hey, it's my good friend Cal," and he walks over. How are you? I realized I might not have introduced myself. I'm Vic, and he puts his hand out. You can use any pronouns with me. I'm not picky.
Vic, it's a lovely name, and he also reaches out, gives him a very firm handshake.
Yeah, absolutely. She does this. She gives you a firm handshake back. You can tell, like, she's strong. She works. You get the sense that this person like uses their hands for sure.
When Cal withdraws his hand, he looks at them and he's just like, "Man, nice like grip. Oh my goodness."
Oh, thank you. Back before I settled down with my polycule, we I was a deckhand a little bit. You get strong grips, especially on the deck of a spelljammer.
I understand. So how's everything treating you now that you're back? You look great, you sound great, you look happy. There's so much color back in your cheeks.
Yeah, things are great. Go ahead and make an insight check.
Okie dokie. And Cal's also going to switch over to his Arsight focus, so that gives him advantage on insight checks.
Hell yeah.
Dirty 20.
Dirty 20. This man is putting on a front to you. They are clearly, like, she clearly has some like line of sadness underlying that is evident to you. Like it's clear that they are doing the polite thing and saying, "I'm great."
Cal's smile doesn't necessarily falter, but it's almost like it takes a more sincere line as he pushes just a little bit deeper and he goes, "Is everything great? I mean, it's okay if it's not. I know you've been away for a while. Is there anything I can do to help?"
Go to make a persuasion check with an advantage.
Okie dokie. $17.
17. You see her look at you and they go, you know, it's just, well, I everything is great. I do mean that. It's just one of my partners. They recently came back from a mining job that they've been working at, and they've been sick. The company was supposed to comp them or help them, and it's been we haven't gotten any response from them. But I guess, you know, we're just lucky they didn't get fucking zombified, because you know what it's like working for Night Singer. Like they have no respect.
Of fucking course. What kind of sickness is it?
We don't know. We've had some of the doctors in the area take a look at them, and no, they had no idea.
Cal glances around, and then he looks back to Vic and goes, "Listen, I know this is going to sound completely insane. Do you mind if I take a look?"
They'll look like maybe they'll have like a look of consternation on their face, and then they'll nod and say, "Aye, all right," and they'll take you to their house if you follow.
Yep. Cal
Hell yeah.
absolutely does.
Yeah, you arrive at their house, and it's kind of like, you know when there's like a sick person, it's quiet and like the shutters are drawn. You come in and you see that they are in bed. Go in and make me a medicine check.
All right. 21.
Wow, 21 medicine check. This person is clearly very ill. You get the sense that they've been exposed to something. You look at their skin; it is like a pale white, like not like pale skin, but like white. Like it looks like almost like it's been painted white. You see that they are, like, their nose as well. It is like clearly inflamed and engorged greatly.
Mm-hmm.
They are also like they are wheezing to themselves, and the wheezing sounds a bit like a kazoo as you are like listening. Like you put your ear to their chest, and like their intake of breath, it sounds like a kazoo to you. This appears to be some kind of like magical effect that has been, like, magical disease that has been imparted and is causing some kind of you would say like transformative effect on them.
Okay. I've got a question, Timbo.
Okay.
Cal has an ability called Restore Health. As an action, you touch one creature and remove one of the following conditions from it: blinded, deafened, paralyzed, or poisoned. Alternatively, you remove one disease from the creature. Do I have a feeling that this would work?
With the 21 medicine check, I'm going to say you're not sure.
Cal's going to take off his glove and like kind of feel their forehead. And he's going to give it a shot anyway. It's the worst that could happen is no. Maybe it'll still bring them some comfort. But he's going to go ahead and he's going to do Restore Health on this person. So his eyes just kind of like shine a little bit, and the nebula within them swirls and like expands as he imparts like just a little bit of his own psionic power into this person to just kind of like empower their body to fight this thing.
As you impart this psionic energy into them, attempting to will their body into regenerating itself, you feel, as you attempt to do so, whatever thing is impacting this person, it doesn't care. And as the energy is imparted into it, you see their condition worsen. You see the skin on them become even more pale white. And as they go to sneeze, their tongue becomes like a party tooter, like as it comes out of their mouth.
The fuck kind of disease is this?
You see them roll over in the bed, and they're unconscious this whole time. They roll over in the bed, and you see that what you had assumed to be the baseboard of the bed was actually their feet, which are huge, like 2 feet in length.
Oh my gosh. There's gotta be a way to cure this.
Yeah, Vic will chime in and say, "Yeah, we had the best doctors around come in. We even tried to get somebody to come in from the pavilion. We didn't, normally, like, if you pay above prices, then they'll bring somebody in, but like we weren't able to get the money together. I'm still convinced that it was something that happened over at that rig, that mining, or that what's it called, the extraction unit, the site. Unfortunately, they weren't able to tell us about it because of the an NDA or whatever. They,
Yeah, non-disclosure agreement.
Damn fairies.
Cal doesn't take any offense to that. He gets it. He's like, yeah, you gotta be fucking kidding me. Can at least he try to can he at least like try to like heal them a little bit so that they can be a little bit more comfortable?
Sure. I'm gonna say that while that psionic energy definitely progressed the disease, it also definitely put them in like a more healthy state too, right? But it was kind of like adding fuel to the fire, right? Like it's healthier, but also it's stronger, right?
Yeah, gotcha. He's gonna go ahead and do a mend wounds on them, and he'll put 3 side points into that. So that's going to be 3d8. So that's 8 HP of
Nice.
just help.
Perfect. Yeah, you see that their breathing, which had been irregular since the psionic energy, it definitely becomes normalized as they kind of like their restless sleep becomes more peaceful. And Vic will say, I don't know what we're gonna do, Cal. I thought I had hoped that you might be able to help, but I hold no ill will towards you.
I really hope that I would have been able to help too. I'm sorry, Vic. That being said, I spend a lot of time out in the Astral Sea, as you may know or not know. I'm gonna keep an eye out, and if I find a cure for this, I'm coming back.
I'd greatly appreciate it. And he goes to shake your hand.
He reaches out, shakes her hand, and he gives it a little extra oomph this time, not to be completely outdone.
Yeah, absolutely. I think she takes it in like a endearing kind of way, like, oh, you're being nice. All right, beautiful. We are going to cut over to Lux. So how does Lux spend her day? Is Rage muted?
Rach may be muted.
I was. Whoops. Hi. Does she get another chance to try and get a long rest?
I'm gonna say yes.
Okay. Do you?
Go ahead and make another charisma save.
Oh, so charisma this time?
What was it before?
Wisdom. No, wait, wisdom. Yeah.
I'll stick with wisdom.
Okay.
I'm gonna say in this point you do get your long rest.
Thick. And I'm guessing Itzel is good too.
Yes.
Okay. In that case, also, I would say that Lux has not put Itzel's collar back on. Is he remained small, or does he look different?
He is still small, as a result of he doesn't have the best control over himself, so like unless he is like worked with, he will stay small for the most part.
Okay. Then
Simply out of convenience to you.
yeah. Perfect. Okay. Well, she feels huh?
Next question, what did you do with the collar?
I think she's keeping it. She's keeping it with her, like probably in her pocket somewhere. Just not on him.
Sure. Lux, we join you. Itzel does not have his collar on.
No.
You know you have a virtual rendezvous with Yira coming up.
Yeah.
What do you do in the lead up?
Okay, so where they're parked right now, what's the Glom presence? Is it huge or is it less?
The Founders Ward has less Glom presence than. Let me put it this way, right? So there are these three different sections, right? The Pavilion, which is like the place where the Glom operates specifically out of in Respite, 100% Glom presence, right? They have cameras, everything going on over there. Over in the Founders Ward, where you are currently docked, the Glom presence is middling. There is still some presence here, but for the most part, this is like a free city, this is a free city with some rules and guidelines that have to be abided by, and some of which are due to the corporations imposing their will in this place. So it is a little, there is definitely presence here. Valheaven has no distinct presence of the conglomerate there. However, like there is nobody there being like, hi, this is your conglomerate outpost, come and hang out with us. Instead, you definitely think that there's the potential for undercover conglomerate operatives to be, operating out of Valhalla or Valheaven rather. But there's nobody obvious, right?
Right. Okay, so I think just to be safe, especially remembering how Ira told her that, she's everything was way too noticeable with her. She's going to change her appearance a little bit before she leaves.
Hell yeah, what do you look like?
So she knows from the posters that her giveaways are her arm and her mask. So she doesn't do anything too different, I guess, but she does cover up her arm so that the metallic part is not visible. She wears something a lot looser. Top-wise, anyway. She actually removes her cloak. She puts her hair kind of in front of her eye, so it's kind of hiding the eye patch. And she takes off her mask.
All right, awesome. Yeah. As you remove your mask, are you doing this in like a moment where you're basically like alone on the ship as other people have gone out to do various things, or Lance is trapped up in his room doing something?
Yeah, or at least she thinks she's alone.
Sure. Okay, yeah, donning this new outfit, what does Lux do next?
She's going to go out to, I think, around Valheaven and start, like, doing recon, like, gathering information, trying to overhear stuff. Basically just try to find any clues she can. Any leads.
Sure, leads in anything in particular?
Just a Glom presence and plans and anything that could be useful to...
Okay, absolutely. Go ahead and make me a either a stealth check or a insight check with advantage, as I assume you're having Itzel help you.
Absolutely. That's 29 for stealth.
Wow. You rolled a 19 on the die also. Just want to throw that out there. Holy shit. With a 29 stealth, you find out a bunch of information. You find out a lot of things about the conglomerate, specifically that the pavilion is a fairly recent addition to Respite, and there is lots of talk about its arrival. Mainly that it is being questioned whether or not its arrival was permitted by the Founders Ward. Whether or not this was the newest thing that the newest secession of power to the conglomerate in Respite, right? There is lots of rumors going on that the founder of Respite did bent the knee to the conglomerate to allow them here. Other people are saying that the conglomerate just showed up and because they do what they want. Other people are even more conspiratorial, saying that things like the conglomerate has suddenly figured out a way to make the material that makes Respite such a valuable and important location. Because and this is kind of, I think, the first time that Lux hears about this. There is a material that is specifically made and crafted in Respite that is made out of it's like a metamagic material, kind of like how Starite is, or any of the number of metamagic materials that the conglomerates use in order for their products, right? This is a special one that is only made in Respite, and it is basically like an alloy of metal that is created via some process having to do with the black hole. The actual process itself is a deep secret, and nobody knows how it's done other than the founders, the two founders, who are brothers.
Okay, do I know who the brothers are? Like, do they have names?
Yeah, let me pull up. I'm sorry, I'm pulling up my lore doc for this.
You're good.
Expecting you to find out so much lore about
Yeah, right?
Give me 1 second.
I'm a lore guy again, guys. In a different way.
Nothing wrong with being a lore guy.
So the substance is called onyx cancrel, and it is incredibly tough, and you find out that it allows things to go in and out of the black hole.
Oh. Okay.
And that's how it's spelled in the chat. I think you also find out that the two brothers that founded Respite, there used to be a third brother that fell into the black hole, and that's the one that came out. Or I'm sorry, two of the brothers used to be triplets, and one of the when they were originally founding Respite, one of the brothers on the ships fell into one of the ships with two of the brothers on it fell into the black hole, and only one of the brothers was able to escape.
Oh.
And this was like weeks later, after they had stopped looking for them. Basically, they gave up because they fell into the black hole.
Shit. Okay. Cool.
You know, you rolled a 29. The last piece of lore I'll tell you. That brother that fell into the black hole and later emerged, he defected from the Founders Ward and would later go on to found Valheaven.
Oh.
And seemingly only the two of them know how to make onyx cancrel.
Oh. That's sick.
Oh, thank you. So that's kind of the information that you're able to glean just from overhearing conversations, listening to people. That's about half the day. Do you want to spend the rest of your day doing anything else?
I really think that she just spends all her day doing that. Also, like, specifically, like, making sure nobody is following her. Also, she's being incredibly aware of her surroundings, so I think
Oh, you cut off there. She's being incredibly aware of her surroundings, so you think.
Oh yeah, that she's making sure her tracks are covered. Their tracks are covered, I guess.
Okay, awesome. Yeah, so it sounds like you don't want to just keep searching for more information.
Yeah, while being very aware of what's going on.
Sure. I'm gonna say in that case, then you would make the stealth check at disadvantage, but Itzel helping you gives you advantage, so that's normal. With this new information that you've just been given, do you want to make a further guess? Or do you want to ask for information more specific?
I have one that's kind of a reach. I don't think it's worth asking.
I could tell you that if you want. Or I can tell you what the DC would be, that kind of stuff.
What's my arm made out of?
Your arm is made out of scrap metals that have been refined and reforged by the mechanics at the Knights of Quartz lair.
Okay.
The number. Mm-hmm.
Okay, cool. Did any of the brothers have any ties with the Knights of Quartz? Or the Mandelbrot set?
Go on and make me a history check with disadvantage.
And then with Itzel helping me, it can be normal?
I'm gonna say Itzel doesn't know enough about this to be able to help with this.
Itzel don't know shit. I got a 7.
7? You have no idea.
Okay, cool. Awesome.
A lot of this information that you're finding, you didn't know about this leading into it. This is new intel to you. Absolutely.
Right. Well, you know what? I'm gonna probably try to dig deeper, I guess, on if wait, because you said that the Glom has been using the Onyx cable, right? Or we don't know that. It's just rumored that they are.
It has been a rumor that they are.
Oof.
So if you wanted to look more into that, that would definitely be a viable inquiry line.
Yeah, I think she's gonna try to find out either where how they make it, or if the Glom is using it.
Okay, go ahead and make me that stealth check at normal.
Okay. 13.
13. I'm going to say that with a 13, you don't find where it's being produced, but you do see at one point, you spend a good bit of time in a crouched position watching the pavilion. And at one point, you see emerging from the shadowy underside of this kind of large, almost cake-like structure, emerging from the shadowy underside, you see a spelljamming vessel, a small one, plated in this onyx black plating as it flies in a straight line towards the black hole. That if you weren't looking for it, if you had no idea to see it, it would be impossible to spot on the black on the dark blue, and it flies straight towards the black hole.
Fuck. Okay. Very intentionally, it appears.
Oh yeah, absolutely.
Okay. That's fucking weird.
You also notice that the color of the vessel is the same color as the chains in Valheaven.
Ooh.
Because all the asteroids are bound together, all the asteroid shops.
Do they match the description of the Onyx King?
They do. are large black, onyx black chains.
Fuck. Oh, that would keep them from being sucked in and having to go out there when they want to. Something's in there, I think. Okay. Well, I mean, if she has any more time, she would just chase that, like, try to get more information on it, because it's new and it's weird.
I'm gonna say that, like, you spend the rest of your day, like, you go to a location and you stake out the spot that you
Perfect. Yeah.
Okay, great. Yeah, and you do so in such a way that you feel like you avoid detection, right? Like you are like basically sitting someplace crouched to the underside of like the city for like 6 hours, like watching.
Yeah. Yes.
Perfect. You get back to. Do you head back to the Nimbus after the fact?
Yeah, I'd say so.
Okay, great. As you get aboard the Nimbus, like walking onto the deck of the ship, Itzel begins to do that like barking chime that it does when Gira is calling into you.
Okay. She almost gets kind of startled, because even though she was expecting it, she also wasn't. I think there was a part of her that doubted that she was gonna call her. I think she's just been getting doubts recently about whether Ira will follow through or not, just because of how it happens. And so Lex will retreat to her room and put Itzel down and answer like she usually does.
Amazing. Yeah. Itzel's mouth will kind of open, and it will Yira's voice will begin to emanate from his open maw, choosing to do a non-video or a non-visual communication with you in this moment. As Itzel's mouth opens, you will hear Yira's voice say, "Status report."
Lux will convey all the information on the Onyx Kinkrel that she noticed here in Respite. She's going to leave out the information on the satellite and what they found there.
Make a deception check.
Okay. 17.
Gira will say, "And what about the movements of your new comrades?" And you get the sense when she says comrades, there's quotes around that word.
With me on the most part.
Situation report on combat abilities shown.
Yes.
And you don't have to go into it, but like, do you give Yira, how much information do you give her?
So the combat abilities of the party, right?
Yeah.
So she's gonna downplay it. She's gonna be like, she's gonna explain that they're not as big of threats as the bounties and the campaigns against them make it seem.
She'll pause as you lie. Have you made contact with any members of any organizations since arriving in Respite?
The set, as usual.
Where did you encounter the set? And in what capacity?
One of them is with me, but I've seen him several times before.
Another has his own mechanics shop. And she'll give the details of wherever that is.
Yes, we are aware of Little's association with the set. However, this is news, and you get the sense that. Like, go ahead and make an insight check.
Okay.
Oh, 7.
You definitely get the sense that she's interested in that intel. Excellent. All right, fascinating. Anything else of note that you wish to correspond? Even the smallest detail might make the difference.
I'm trying to remember everything that happened. If she leaves out the satellite, that's a big portion.
Yeah, the satellite is a really big portion.
Mm-hmm. You know, I think that Lux in this moment is remembering the mural and the Artox. I can't pronounce the name ever. He's remembering them, and she continues to be filled with doubt, I think, at the true purpose, or why was Ira on the mural? You know? Why were they all there? The word sacrifice she still remembers. So I think she's a little bit suspicious of this woman. And so I think at that, she just mentions the rebellion they found. That she may have accidentally left out earlier, and how that there seems to possibly be a presence here. But yeah.
Interesting. Was the rebellion member working in a capacity with this member of the set?
Yes.
Very curious. Excellent. All right. With the situation report completed, now it is time for your mission debrief. Are you ready, Agent?
Yes.
We have received reports from several members of the network that there is a Shar outpost coming into alignment with the city of Respite. It should, with a spelljammer, it should be no more than a few days travel, or no more than an hour or so's travel outside. Unfortunately, we don't know much about what is happening there, other than the workers live on site. There's significant output of metamagical material that is used by not just Shar, but all members of the conglomerate. But although Shar would be bad enough, they would most likely be using this for resurrections and the like. And the code name, we know it to be DGEXS013, but we unfortunately are unable to determine what that means.
Okay. So you'd like me to go over there?
This is correct. The expectation is for you to terminate the operation of this facility using whatever means at your disposal. To that effect, we will be supplying you with certain supplies. You will find them stashed on your vessel already.
Sorry, I'm just like Did you send somebody?
Correct. They stashed the necessary required equipment for the mission into the crow's nest of the vehicle that you are aboard. In the registry, it is labeled as the Pearlescent. This was a correct ship, correct?
Was it?
The Pearlescent. Yeah, that's correct.
Yes.
Excellent. You will find enough material there in order to complete your mission via whatever means that you deem to be the most effective. as a trained agent.
Yes. Who did you send, and when did they?
This information is irrelevant to the mission.
Excuse me for saying this, but...
Agent, you know your place. Your place is not to ask questions. Your place is to fulfill the mission. You know how dangerous it is for information to be out there in the astral sea.
That would be a flaw in our security on this vessel.
Ira doesn't respond. Ira doesn't respond to that. She says, the nature of the mission is more important.
Okay. I'll do it.
Of course. And the communication ends.
Lex is gonna go check it. The part of the ship she's talking about.
Yeah, you climb on up the roping to the crow's nest. You find a small black satchel that's been tucked in there. Inside of it, you find 5 charges of heavy-grade Starite explosive, 1 single detonator, a simple switch and button, and an exerciser, which you know to be a type of hard light weaponry, a small dagger. This one appears to have 3 charges, and when you deal a fatal blow to an undead with it, the undead turns to ash.
Okay. Do I say anything about noting if there's been any presence here? Probably not, I guess. But like, if there's a small chance that there's been any presence here.
Sure, make a perception check.
Okay. Go on. 18.
I'm gonna say you meet what I rolled. So you look high and low. You don't find anything at first, and then as you are moving back down the deck, you see on the railing, like right where the port is, right where the dock is, there is a single strand of bright red gossamer hair that has been caught on the railing and is fluttering in this like air bubble breeze that you see. And as you watch, it blink flies off and out into the astral sea. And with that, I think we're going to go ahead and call the session there.
Excuse me.
Amazing. Thank you so much, everybody, for coming out. Thank you to all the lurkers, the raiders, the chatters, everybody hanging out. I super appreciate it. I've been Tim the Wizard. We're gonna be doing some more stuff coming up. This month we've got a new show premiering. It's going to be starting on Wednesday the 26th. It's going to be a great time. Sigil Community College. It's multi-classes in session. We've got a lot of really cool people going to be in that one. Domino, Mish, Brightq, Grams, myself. It's going to be and led by the Sesh. It's going to be an awesome time, and I cannot wait for that. And that all starts soon. This is also the last chance for you to enter into that giveaway. So go ahead and hit / ticket if you have not yet. That is also to my cast as well. If you would like the Doldrum giveaway, you can feel free to enter too. Don't stop me. But as we wrap that up, we're going to go around one last time to find out where you can find my lovely players and the various projects they do. Werewolf, why don't you start us off?
Oh no, are they muted?
Werewolf might be muted.
I got halfway through my whole thing. Hello. My name is Werewolf BF. You can find me basically everywhere as Werewolf BF. That is where the question, wolf is in the animals, and the letters B and F. And you can expect finalizing a little schedule thing because I have a bunch of stuff coming up this month. But I'm going to be in Barbie's Nightmare House. I'm coming up in a Magic the Gathering one-shot. I'm going to be doing a couple other things here and there. So definitely check all the things out because they're going to be fun.
Hell yeah, absolutely. I'm looking forward to all those things. Beautiful Galaxy. Go next.
Hi, I'm Galaxy. You can find me mostly on TikTok and YouTube. So I'm at GalaxyBot on both. And Galaxy is always spelled with an IE for me. And I do have a book coming out soon, so look out for information about that. I
Uh-huh.
still can't tell you the title.
Oh, that was my next question. All right.
One of these
Sorry.
days.
One day.
Soon,
I'm
I'm
so
trying.
I cannot wait. I'm so excited. Excellent. We have next we have Reich.
Hey, I've been right Q playing what has been Lux. In this here, I stream sometimes. I might be streaming a little bit less in the near future, because I broke my fibula. Well, it's harder to get around, but we'll see. You can find me at twitch.tv/RightQ. Yeah, the artist formerly known as Lux. Exactly. Yeah, that's it.
Fantastic. Amazing. And last but certainly not least, we have Domino.
Hi, I'm Domino. I have been Cal tonight. You can catch me anywhere on the internet at Domino RBG. You can also catch me later this month on Sigil Community College right here on Timbo the Wizard.
Woo! Yeah, I'm so excited for that. All right. Thank you again, everybody, for coming on out. Thank you to all the lurkers, the chatters. We're going to go ahead and close the giveaway, and let's see who wins. Draw a winner. Domino! Congratulations.
Yeah.
Let's go. All righty.
Hey,
Thank
hey,
you.
I
Yeah.
have a question. Can I do just like the natural right thing and give this to Jess?
Yeah.
Yeah.
I will
Like, it's
100% allow that.
it's gotta go to Jess.
It
Like
has
it
to.
has to.
I'm so excited. I love her so much.
It belongs with you, dude.
Absolutely agree. And if you are out there and you want your very own doldrum, you can get that now at the Shady Sales store. They've 3D printed out, and you can paint it up yourself into whatever color scheme that you would like. Thank you again, everybody, for coming on out. We're going to go ahead and raid into somebody. But until next time, we're going to be live in 2 weeks with more Tales of the Riot Nexus. And next week we'll have Dungeon of the Mad Mage. So hope to thank you again, everybody, for being here. Also, let me just quickly shout out. Thank you, Angry Screech for the follow, Record of the Realms for this for the raid, and Mega Magnet for the raid as well. Super appreciate all the love. We thank you again, everybody. I hope you have a fantastic upcoming week, and we will talk to you all very soon. Goodbye, chat. Goodbye.
Bye.
Bye.